Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
Hello there, welcome everybody to the Alpha X Champions Cup. We're here for the Group D of the round of 16. I am your caster Snoopy, and joined by my side is none other than Salivant.
How are you going? It is 6 a.m. here, dawn has just crested the horizon, and we're here for some great StarCraft indeed. At the end of the round of 16 all comes down to this. Our groups are already almost determined. The winner of this one goes into Group B for the round of 8. Second place goes into Group A, and I do not envy the person who goes into Group A. Everyone is definitely going to want to win this group, because Group A is already looking to be a monster.
Yeah, for sure. And we're already getting started here in Game 1. Port Alexander will be our first map of the day.
Yeah, it will be Australia versus Psych, another mismatch at least on paper. Our second seed against our 16th seed, a very high MMR difference, and Australia is on fire. 6th place in WCS Winter. He's been doing extremely well lately. Ever since he joined Alpha X, in fact, he seems to have just catapulted up the ranks. I'm not sure if the two are correlated, but we're definitely going to take all the credit for it.
Yeah, not only WCS, just last week I think he finished 4th in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, that's right, he did. Yeah, really well done by Australia. He's really kicking ass lately, becoming a serious contender in the North American scene, just below the big names like Neve and Scarlet. Alright, in the upper left, spawning as the Orange Terran, it is Psych.
And spawning at the bottom right is the Green Protoss. You know him as Australia.
Australia is known for being a bit of a crazy player. In fact, sometimes the memes are just too strong with him. I saw him remember we saw him lose that game to that 5.8k Protoss because he went for this weird thing, like Nexus first into double robo or something, and his opponent just knew his style and countered him perfectly.
Oh yeah, I think that was in ATL, right?
Yeah, it was Jamilian.
Yeah.
My coach, actually. Clearly a good tactical player. It was funny to watch. Even if it was to our detriment. But we'll see what Australia does, and it looks like he's already starting off very Australia-like with double gas off a single base in PvT. Something you do not see super often. So I imagine we'll see a core and probably some sort of tech building after that. Don't know if Australia's going to want to take a late expand or if he's going to want to do something really crazy. A late expand such doesn't really make sense. Oh, wait. Is he just blindly preparing for a proxy because he's not scouting at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Once again, Australia does these baffling moves. I know he's way better at this game than I will ever be, but you would think that it's just easier to send out the scout at this point. I mean, think about all the economic loss you're taking by making the Zealot and the Cybercore and all of that before your Nexus. Wouldn't it be faster to just send out the probe?
Or maybe he just wants to send out this Zealot early so he can actually cancel that command center that he's expecting from Psych. But Psych does scout.
Actually, that's probably a good point, but Psych, he knows what's going on. He's building a CC on the high ground. He's like, oh no, I know who you are, man. I know who I'm playing.
Yep.
I wasn't born yesterday. And Reaper versus Sentry, the battle as old as time itself. I actually think the Reaper could have won that.
Yeah, I think so too. It does extra damage to light units, I know.
Yeah, you're right, it does. At 5 shots a pro, which means it would 10 shot a Sentry, so I think that's more DPS than the Sentry has.
But unfortunately for Australia, his Zealot does come here and sees no command center in the low ground here. Yeah. Oh, but he doesn't lift.
No, so he's gonna have to kite pretty well. That's just gonna be something a little busy for him. And the factory is scouted, though the starport is. And the Zealot is just gonna head home. It's like getting the better end of that.
Yeah, I think I like.
All in all, both
I think I like this opening from Australia. Might even copy it because we know that since Maru, the ascension of Maru, there's been a lot of Terrans that has proxied as their opening, and as a Protoss, you can scout it and then see the proxy and then like cancel your command center or your Nexus, or maybe just even leave it, but you're not sure what you're going up against. So with the extra gas and the one base opening, I think you can defend easier against proxy tactics against Terran.
It's true, but you can still scout what's going on with the 20 Nexus. It just means that you won't have as fast a gateway. I mean, as fast a second. And Australia's going out for a very weird attack. Like 3 Stalkers, 2 Sentries, and a Zealot. Again, proving he just does not play the way most people play. And there's actually going out for Psych, so this could turn out very bad for him. He's only got a handful of Marines against this motley crew of an army. There is a tank on the way, and now building a bunker as well. He's sniffed this out. I think he might have spotted it with some. Oh, there's an Immortal as well. Oh, this could be really nasty, actually. The SCV will get taken out. The bunker's not going to finish. The tank needs to be put into a good position. The tank is his saving grace. If he gets on top of the tank with this Immortal, that's just basically going. But he does get the tank up. The force field held off the entire army. And Australia is getting a third and going into a Robo Bay.
Yeah, but not before Psych does drop those Widow Mines, getting 6 probes there. So Australia wasn't able to pay attention there and does lose 6 probes.
Yeah. Oh, but this medevac will actually get intercepted. We'll manage to retreat in time. Is Reaper still at... Oh, it's at... The Reaper's at the wrong third base, though. So Psych still has no idea about this third base yet. And probably is expecting some sort of later attack. That's probably how he sniffed out the attack from Australia. Actually, he added 2 and 2 together and got 5. But it actually turned out to be right after all, so I guess it would be better to say he added 2 and 3 together and got 4. He took the incorrect information he had and came to the correct conclusion about it anyway, that he was about to be attacked. Stim and combat shield on the way as well as more tanks, more marauders, more marines, getting into that standard TVP army. While Australia is going into Colossi. I like how that's come back, the Colossus-based army. Though a lot of Marauders tends to be the solution to that, at least at my level. What about you, Snoopy? You're a bit higher up than me.
I do.
You ever go Colossus?
Yeah, I think sometimes I do like I guess what they call the swarm toss ways with the mass gateways. But then there's also times where I do like Colossus play better. Certain maps, I think it's more wide open, that is better suited for swarm toss plays, because you can engage in a much wider space. But with Colossus, I think I tend to at least go Colossus during in those maps that has more close space, so that the splash damage can work really well in those choke areas.
Yeah, I like to have the best of both worlds myself. I tend to open Swarm Toss, but then go into Double Robo Colossus after that. Oh, and man, these adepts are doing so much damage for Australia on the other side of the map. Psych is attacking. Oh, he's got the disable on the Colossi. Good force fields come down, though. He needs to buy time. And he is buying time, but these tanks are now in great position. You really need to bait that disable out elsewhere on the map, or else you're in serious trouble. In the meantime, 17 SCVs, 20 SCVs have gone down on the other side of the map. Both sides taking incredible amounts of damage. And I don't know who's going to end up on top in the end. But it looks like both sides have 2 bases. Psych's economy has been practically crippled.
Yeah, Psych.
And Australia's retaking his third, so I think Australia's ahead.
Yeah, I think so too. He only lost the third base, which is okay for him, as long as he doesn't lose the majority of his probes, which he is ahead 44 to 25 workers here.
Oh, damage is still going down, actually. Yeah, it's down half of his workers already, and it's still not done. Yeah, all of a sudden, Psych is in a pretty terrible position. He's fighting really well, fighting really hard against this player. But, oh man, Once again, those adepts just outmaneuvering Psyche and doing so much damage. And there's 3 Colossi out now against a mostly Bio Ball. The Raven is alive though, and there's 4 tanks here, so I think Psyche could be prepared for another very powerful 2-base push, and Australia is moving out to meet it, which is the thing you want to do against tanks. And this Raven. Bait out some of the energy, force it to siege up. Australia knows time is on his side now, and he just needs to bait them back. I don't think he's going to want to go for a full-out engagement.
Yeah, and I like this play by Australia. He's gonna try to slow down this push, keep the turn at his side of the map while buying himself time to get that third base up and running.
Exactly, he's got +1/+1 and charge now, so he's got those important upgrades. He's getting another Colossi. He's going to be up to 4 Colossi. Oh, it looks like he might just want to go for it. Oh, the disables come down, good force fields, and that's exactly what you need to do as Australia. He has baited out the disables, and now there will be no disables for the main fight, and Psyche is just forced to retreat and go home.
Yeah, and Australia feeling so confident. He's even adding a 4th base while this is all going on, while Psyche has yet to claim his 3rd base.
Damn. Well, I like that. I think it's a good move.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to necessarily probe it up, but it'll just give more inevitability on his side, and now he's going into Disruptors and Blink. I didn't realize he didn't have Blink.
Oh, yeah, I think he researched charge first. I guess it makes sense because Psyche is going for that marine tank heavy composition, which charge does do better against.
Yeah, he went for a pretty late Twilight Council. I think going charge first does make sense at that level of the game. Oh, he's pulling the boys. He's pulling all of them. He's pulling practically every SCV he has.
Yeah,
I
oh
think
man.
charge first makes sense at that stage of the game because you need charge by a certain stage of the game, no matter what. There are going to be so many SCVs here. This is definitely Psyche's last stand. But with 4 Colossi and a Disruptor, I'm worried that it's not going to go well for him.
Oh, I think Psyche thinks that the 3rd base is back in here, but
yeah, I think you're right.
little
These
does he know.
Colossi are going to do so much damage.
Man.
He's leapfrogging forward. This Disruptor shot does miss, but again, buying time. Australia is almost maxed out, but the army supplies are identical. 2-2 and Blink is nearly done, and a 4 upgrade disadvantage is going to be far too much to do anything about. But Psyche is moving in. He is going for the throat. He is going for the kill. And he's actually going to be in a crazy position on top of these ramps. He's going to force Australia to come to him through choke points. And here we go. The tank's getting flanked. The SCVs are moving in. A devastating Disruptor hit goes down. Some great disabled brothers don't know if it's enough. The flank closes in. The jaws of the Pinsu drop. And Psyche is dropping in supply terribly. That's it. The Colossi are almost all still alive. Psyche is running, but there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. And now he's going to lose everything. He's down to 9 workers. That's going to be it. That's going to be the game. GG is called, and Australia takes game number 1. Psyche putting up a really great fight. If it weren't for those adepts on the other side of the map, I'd say he probably would have won that game.
Possibly. I mean, it was a good, I guess, a good idea to try and go for that 3rd of Australia with that 2 base attack, but you know, again, Australia just so good with the macro was enough to made the right decision to sack the 3rd base and just retreat and then just let his adept do the damage across the map. And yeah, he just played that really well. And here we go into the second map here, or the second game, which will be
Automaton.
Automaton right there.
Australia once again proving he marches to the beat of his own drum. Nobody drops that many adepts in PvT. I've never seen that before in my life. But it worked so well because it was not expected.
Yeah, you usually see Protons drop like maybe 3 adepts because they one-shot an SCV, but he warped in like 6 of them or 7.
Yeah. You occasionally see like mass charge lot warp-ins, but mass adept warp-ins is just not something you normally see at all.
Especially
one of the things that makes Australia so scary.
Yeah, especially
you never know what he's gonna do.
since he didn't even go for Adept Glaives, he went for Charge first, right?
Yeah, he didn't have any Twilight upgrades at that point.
Yeah, so pretty aggressive with the Adept weapons instead of the Zealot weapons. But anyhow, series is 1-0 for Australia, and now it looks like both players are ready. And let's see if Psych can bring it back here, tied up.
And you gotta remember that he went for such a late Twilight that when he was warping in those Adepts, he didn't have Charge either. And Adept with no upgrades are definitely better than Zealots with no upgrades for Harass.
That's true, yeah.
Charge lots are really good for Harass, but slow Zealot's absolutely terrible for it. They die to everything and kill nothing if it's cut away from them. Alright. In the bottom left. Losing a narrow game 1. Can he come back? It is Psych.
And spawning at the top right, we have the Green Protoss with an impressive game 1 win. Looking to close it out, it is Australia.
And Psych is gonna get a little bit tricky. Moving across the map that quick probably only means one thing.
That he's going for early shopping at the mall.
That is correct. Gotta get those early bird special deals. He's gonna need some friends to guard against all the other shoppers, so he's throwing down a barracks. Meanwhile, Australia's just taking his time, grabbing a coffee, reading the morning paper.
Looking at the horoscopes.
He's taking a look outside his window. Will he spot it? Oh my god, he spots it. Oh, this is terrible.
Wow.
Psych. I think Psych's just gonna have to abandon this plan. He has no way to finish this barracks. Oh, what? You can do that?
Yeah, you can stop your SCVs and make it build again so it can move.
Oh man, that is so good, but even that's not gonna be enough.
Yeah, I don't
He's
think
gonna
it's...
lose the SCV.
Ooh.
Or at least force it to retreat, and he's gonna have to cancel that Rax.
Or just bring a second one. Looks like he got a second SCV coming. But it's gonna be delayed, super delayed.
Oh yeah, and he's gonna know it's coming, so... Oh man, that stop on the SCV to get in just the right position against those rocks is so good. Definitely saving him from disaster, but even so, it's not great. And now he's throwing out a tech lab. But again, Psych, Australia knows what's coming, so I don't think that's such a good idea. I think it would be better to just make the Reaper and call it a day.
Oh, but he does force a couple of probes of Australia to come out. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's the plan.
sure about the decision. Is that good or not? I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's good. I think he'll take out the tech lab, he'll prevent the concussive shells from going up, and only one Marauder should... Actually, he might manage to start a second Marauder just in time. No, it doesn't look like he would.
Wow.
And Australia stops this rush completely dead.
You learn something new every day.
You sure do. Turns out scouting your opponent is good. The lessons we learn.
Yep, and if you scout a tech lab, just pull four probes or 5 and stop it from researching.
And this is interesting. We have a tech lab and on the factory and a starport, so I think this is going to be like a tank liberator push.
Yeah, or maybe
he knows Australia will open for a robo from here.
Yeah, I think it's probably his best bet at this point.
Oh no, he's going for a Cyclone. I forgot Cyclones. They require the tech lab these days.
Mm-hmm.
And what's he going to do with that starport I want? He could go for a Liberator, or he could go for Medivacs and go for an early Cyclone drop. And he's making a tech lab on that too, so I guess we're going to see Banshees? Or a Raven. This is an interesting push.
Well, his initial, I guess, proxy kind of failed, so I think maybe he's just kind of winging it at this point, maybe.
Yeah, that's true, and he's definitely on the back foot. He's going for Cloaked Banshee, and he's going for an Immortal first. Maybe the Cyclones are meant to force out these Immortals and such and try and delay the Observer. It looks like Psychnos is behind, so he's decided to make the game as coin flippy as possible. And I quite like that idea. It doesn't matter how far ahead Australia is if Cloaked Banshees get into his mineral line and he has no detection. But he does have an observer on the way now. The question is, will he keep it with his army or send it across the map? I think he will keep it with his army, knowing that there's only a small amount of things that Psyche can actually do off one base.
Oh, just as you say
Actually, I
that,
guess there's a lot they can do off one base.
he changed the rally, went and rallied it across the map actually. So this Banshee can actually
You're
do
right.
a bunch of damage here.
And he's making a War Prism, so it looks like he wants to counterattack.
Might need to recall that observer just to thwart this Banshee threat here.
Yeah, he's making a second observer now, but he's sending out all of his units to attack. So this is going to do some serious damage. Oh, but the Banshee is seen. What does he do? He retreats with his stalkers. He is making an observer, but the observer is not done now. So that's going to take a lot of mining time losses. He won't lose many actual probes because of the shield battery he has. He will lose 2. In the meantime, the Cyclones are kiting. One of them nearly goes down as they kite backwards against this attack. He will have 3 Cyclones. He's making a siege tank now. He's got a couple of Banshees. He has 1 Banshee, the other one is still on the other side of the map. And the natural mineral line is again undefended. This is an interesting attack from Australia indeed. He has plenty of SCVs to repair it, but oh, you can't drop the SCV, you can't drop the command center there. I think he has to lift that off, but he's gonna fight. Oh, and man, that does so much damage so fast. That Immortal doing devastating damage to these Cyclones. The tank does siege up, but I feel it's actually just too late. There's just so many units there. That's just gonna be it.
Yeah, this army just obliterated now. There's pretty much absolutely nothing he can do about this. He even got the observer for the Banshee.
Just a terrible opening for Psyche in the end because he was scouted up so quickly and then completely shut down. There was really just nothing he could have done, and then Australia followed it up perfectly. GG's called, and Australia moves on to the winner's match.
GG. Man, Australia is such a great player, and if you're gonna be behind against Australia already, because on paper I think most people would favor Australia over Psyche. So you know you're already behind from the start. You don't want to get further behind by getting your proxy scouted. So that's kind of detrimental for Psyche's chances there once his proxy was scouted. So Australia gonna go ahead and take a swift 2-0 lead here and finish off the series and head into the winner versus winners match, which will be our set number 3.
That is right. And the winner of that match will advance in first place from the group, advance to Group B of the round of 8. Our next match will be Starkiller versus Matiz. Right, Starkiller and Matiz, I'm asking him how he prefers his name to be pronounced, are vetoing now.
Alright, in the meantime, let's go ahead while they do their map vetoes. Let's just talk about one of our sponsors, 24 Hour Fitness. They've been around for over 30 years, and they have been dedicated to helping people achieve their fitness goals. And they're located in over 436 locations nationwide, and their goal is to help you achieve your fitness goals and attain your dream body. So let's go ahead and actually play this 30-second commercial from 24 Hour Fitness, and we'll be right back. All right, there it is. 24-hour fitness. You can go ahead and go to the Match Arena, complete the 24-hour fitness quest, and there's actually, I think, if you retweet or follow their Twitter, you get a free 7-day free fit plan, and you can try them out for 7 days for free, I believe. So yeah, just head over to Match Arena and you can do that. And thank you once again to 24-hour fitness for being one of our sponsors.
Definitely, we would not be able to have these tournaments if it were not for our sponsors. And it is Matiz, apparently.
Matiz, okay. Alright.
Apparently, he said he himself wasn't quite sure, but preferred Matiz to Matiz. Will be a ZVZ. Nice change from our PVT. We do have all 3 races represented in our group. And that means one way or another we'll get at least 4 matchups today.
Oh, sweet.
You'll have... Because the winner of this goes on for a PVZ and the loser goes on for a TVZ. So that'll have PVT, ZVZ, PVZ and TVZ all in one.
Awesome.
And that's actually all the matchups we can have, because we can't have a PvP or a TVT in a group with only one Protoss and only one Terran in it. Tragic as that all may be, I know you didn't get enough PvP in the Super Tournament. I know you all want more. But you're just going to have to wait.
Alrighty here. Poor Alexander.
Alright, in the upper left, representing Europe, it is the Red Zerg, it is Matiz.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have the blue Zerg player. He is Starkiller.
Starkiller himself steadily rising through the ranks of North American Hope. Still a fair few steps behind us, Rare, but he's been a competitor in these small tournaments for a very long time. I believe he's won something like 20 plus or something pizza pies in the pizza pie tournament. Absolutely an alumnus of that particular tournament.
Yeah, at this point he's like our pizza king here.
I think he's everybody's pizza king. Mattis goes for a 17 hatch, where it's going to be gas then pool for Starkiller. So a bit of a lead in the early game for Matiz in theory, since Starkiller won't be able to get super aggressive off this. Though it is Starkiller. So he may just prove that I can eat my words. But nothing that can't theoretically be defended off a hatch first, as opposed to say a 12 puller with 13-12, which is much harder to defend with a build like Matiz. But he should overall be fine, though there will be significantly faster speed for Starkiller, which you might be able to use to get something done.
Yeah, we
and
shall
he's
see.
making 6 links straight away, so he does want to get aggressive with this, as well as speed, before his coin.
Alright,
What are you going to say?
We'll see how much these 6-lings can do. I don't expect too much damage, as the pool for Matiz is about to be up. But again, Starkiller is not mining gas, so he is going to go ahead and rely on these speedlings for the most part in the early game here. And we'll see if he does decide to go for roaches, or if he's going to go ahead and go for the Spangling and Spire play instead.
He's just making more and more Zerglings. And he's hiding them. He's just gonna go for a Speedling bust off of this. He's gonna go for Lings into even more Zergling. And we'll see how this goes. It is an unequal fight. It is 6 against 4, 6 against 3 now. The Starkiller Zerglings being very much bullies and outnumbering his opponents. The Baneling Nest does now go down for Matisse, which is going to be really strong for him, as speed does finish for Starkiller, and he's going to send out all of these lings at once, and suddenly Matisse is going to be like, oh no. But he does have a Baneling Nest on the way, so once that's done, once a few Banelings are up, Matisse will be fine. He's not making any more drones, he has scouted this out. This third base, there's no way that's going to stay up. He's going to have to cancel that, though it will buy him some time as he sends his slowlings down against the speedlings. Oh, and this could actually be devastating. Both queens are out of position. One queen gets taken down immediately. The others are going to go into the main base. They're going to try and get crippling damage done before the Baneling Nest is done. 3 Banelings are morphing. There's a bit of a fight going on at the main, a bit of a fight at the natural ramp as well, as 7 drones already go down, and suddenly Starkiller is in a tremendous lead. Matisse will clean this up, but already he's lost 11 workers. He's down to 9 workers right now, as more and more speedlings are being made for Starkiller to force Matisse back. He actually keeps this third base alive, but he is so economically down right now.
Yeah, what use is
Even a spine crawler for Starkiller.
Oh yeah, that's smart, because there is a Baneling counterattack. That Spine Crawler can definitely help against that.
Oh yeah, and Starkiller knows there has to be a counterattack after the amount of damage he did.
Yep, but Starkiller, he's relentless. He's still producing those Zerglings, still trying to do some damage here. Oh, but you gotta be careful. Oh, nice one sacrifice ling there. Oh!
Yeah, how did he get those lings into the main base? Oh man, that's gonna kill 4 drones. Almost made it even worse. Attacking in 2 places at once is Starkiller, doing tremendous damage to Matisse already. Look at that. Starkiller has double the supply of Matisse.
Oh my god, there's some more Zergling in the main base. Will he get this last one? Yes, he does. That at least
man, I don't think
Matisse drones.
even managed to get across the other side of the map yet. He's only just now trying to do that, but now these Banelings, I don't think they're even going to get up. GG, Matisse says, and Starkiller absolutely dominating game number 1, brutalizing Matisse with that early attack. Jesus. Starkiller is terrifying. 5 minutes in, and the first game is already over.
Yeah,
this could be a very fast day, folks.
That's how ZVZ can end up, for sure.
Yeah, especially when you got a player like Starkiller as one of the Zergs. A very aggressive player indeed, and clearly we see why it works for him.
Yeah. I think let's try connecting our call directly, because you're dropping out in and out in the voice chat. So I'm just gonna call you directly, alright?
Okay, sure thing.
Alright, can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you right now.
You can't?
Oh wait, no, I can hear you now. Alright, cool. It's working.
Okay. Any better?
Hopefully it's good.
Alright.
Yeah, I think in the Discord chat there's a setting to see which I guess server that the Discord server should be in. So I think it's set at US East, which I'm not sure if it has any influence on the server in which the voice calls go through in the voice chats. So maybe because it's in US East, maybe that's why it's stuttering a little bit, because you're from Australia.
Yeah, that could be.
But I'm not 100% sure, so I guess next time maybe I'll change it to US West and see if that is good, better for the next time.
Fair enough. Yeah, you never know.
Alright, both players are ready. Kairos Junctions will be our second map, and we'll see how Matisse answers back.
We will indeed. He'll need something good. He is 1 game away from getting knocked down to the loser's match against Psych.
Yep. And I do want to give a shout out to Sushi, who gave a tier 1 sub to Australia, and that... Oh wait, that's 2 days ago. That hasn't... The activity feed hasn't refreshed yet. Anyhow, let's go ahead and introduce the players.
Alright, in the upper left, one game down to a very fast Speedling Rush. What can he do this time? It is Matisse.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have the blue Zerg player up 1-0 with a quick 5-minute or so game last time. Let's see if he can close it out. It is Starkiller.
And we have a 15 pool from Starkiller, so he wants to get aggressive once again, it would seem.
Do you think it's going to be the same
Okay.
build?
It could be very similar. He's getting the gas now. I don't think it's going to be the exact same build because he's getting a later gas.
Okay.
Definitely be some very early Zergling aggression though. I wouldn't be surprised to see that, so it could be very similar to the original build, if not exactly the same in every little detail. Meanwhile, Matisse is going for the same build that he did in game number 1. Hatch, gas, pool. Playing it defensive, playing it economic, playing it safe. Hatchery now goes up for Starkiller, and we are going to see Sixlings once again. So not the same, but pretty much identical in terms of Matisse's side of things. The difference is that there will be a much slower speed coming out of Starkiller this time around. Although I don't think he needed the speed as fast as he did in game number 1, because he actually didn't have his units hitting as soon as speed was done. He pulled them up until speed was done and then sent them out across the map, so this could actually be an even stronger version of the same attack.
Well,
As I bet he's going to get speed shortly.
yeah, unfortunately for Matisse, his Overlord did not catch that, barely. The Lings were able to run around the Overlord, and this might catch Matisse off guard a little bit here.
Yeah, very smartly done by Starkiller, though both speeds will be done at the same time this game. And here goes the Speedlings, and Matisse must be thinking, oh no, not again. Good fight from Matisse. He's pulling a lot of his drones back once they get weakened and fighting in a bit of a choke point, which is essentially the best trade he could possibly hope for, but he's still going to lose 3 drones very early before this queen comes out, and possibly even a 4th one, but no, not quite. The remainder of these Lings will be cleaned up, so overall that's not bad for Matisse. And he's making a Baneling nest as well, so if there's more Speedlings on the way, Starkiller will be in trouble. He's building the Spine Crawler, which indicates to me a lair. What is he doing?
Well, I think
He's making another...
he might be just transitioning into really fast Roachers or something, maybe. Or maybe even 2-base Mutas. He doesn't seem to be committed to using the gas for anything else, I think. I mean, there must be a reason why he's getting that second gas. I expect the 3rd and 4th gas later on.
I think it would have to be for Mutalisk. I don't think you make the lair that fast if you're transitioning to super fast 2-base Roaches. I don't think you really need it. I think this is going to be a Spire, and then he's going to throw down the extra 2 gases straight away to start saving up for those Mutalisks. Oh, good micro from Matisse. Doesn't lose any workers to that extra attack from Starkiller. So yeah, I think we're going to see 2-base Mutalisks coming out of Starkiller.
Although there is a chance, maybe... Oh, yep, there it is. Spire is coming down for Starkiller.
Yeah, and Nidus just wouldn't have made much sense in this particular matchup. He didn't have like a didn't have like a huge number of queens. The queens can't really transfuse the Lings. A couple of Banelings were just Lings coming out of the Nidus. But yeah, here comes the 3rd and 4th gas, and Starkiller again proving that he plays the game on his terms, just like Australia. We have a lot of unconventional players at the top end of Alpha X, which makes these tournaments so much more interesting. We certainly don't just see the same type of game over and over again. Starkiller snipes a Ling real quick and then runs out. Roach Warren on the way from Matisse. Does he know about this Spire yet? I don't see how he would have scouted it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't even know about the 3rd and 4th gas, actually, which would be the biggest tell of what's going on. He probably thinks this is fast Roaches because he's never seen a 3rd and 4th gas. which is why we're getting this Roach Foreign and an Evo Chamber. He's taking into Roaches himself to counter the supposed Roaches of Starkiller. Meanwhile, he loses a Queen to a few Lings and loses a few drones as well.
Oh, that's
Starkiller taking a bit of an economic lead.
Yeah, that's going to be important.
7 mutas on the way.
With the 1 Queen down and the mutas on the way, that's one less Queen to defend against these mutas. But can he handle this counterattack though? There's actually nothing.
He will. The Mutalists will come out and they will hold this off. But in the meantime, he's going to lose a lot, I think. The Spine Crawler buys just enough time, it looks like. He will lose the Queen, he will lose a couple of drones, but in the end, the Mutalists will clean stuff up. And that Spine Crawler was an absolute hero, saving at least, I'd say, at least 6 drones, probably more like 10 or 12. From the depredations of the Zerglings, and now he's sending these Zerglings across, these Mutalisks across the map, and there is really nothing there. There's a couple of Queens at the 3rd base, but they're actually getting sniped down by the Lings even as we watch. Before the Spore Crawler is done, 1 Queen goes down, a Mutalisk almost goes down, but not quite, and even these Zerglings taking a bunch of shots. Spores are done just in time, but the Queens are just going to get sniped anyway. The Mutalisks saying they don't care. And oh man, and now we got the Zerglings doing tons of damage. The Spore Crawler does not. The Zerglings do not care about the Spore Crawler. And all of a sudden, that economic lead is gone once again. And Starkiller is up 20 supply. He has a Mutalisk flock in the sky that is unanswerable. It's going to be forever before Matisse can get Hydras and such. Oh, wait, he does have Hydras, but he doesn't have the money to produce a ton of them.
Yeah, at this point,
he doesn't have the Hydras then.
I think he's just worried about stabilizing at this point against these mutas.
Yeah, I agree, and Starkiller is doing so well poking with these mutas, getting every last bit of damage he can. I really like that. He's super aggressive with the Mutalisk. He's not just sitting on his laurels, and another Queen goes down. Oh man, he's actually attacking these Queens away from the Spore Crawlers. That's not where you want your Queens to be. And that's 3 Queens going down, or 4 Queens gone down. Starkiller is just making more and more of an advantage with every move he makes.
Yeah, he's gonna change his...
Hydras will be made, but those just get sniped down.
Oh my god, another...
They're trying to get back to the main and natural, but they can't.
Yeah,
Starkiller just won't let that happen.
At this point, he might change his name to Queen Killer instead.
And he's just going to take out this Hydralisk immediately, take out the Baneling, take out the Spore before it finishes, take out more and more Hydras, and Matisse might just GG out at this point. I probably would if I were him. There's just not going to be any answer for this. All of these Hydras are going to go down, and yeah, Starkiller has pretty much won this game, I would say. There's just no way that these mutas are ever going to be contested. More and more Hydralisks are being made, but they're just getting sniped one by one. Ooh, actually, I just stay alive here. Oh, actually, many times the Mutalisks go in for attacks that don't work. But I think Matisse needs to back away. His Hydras are so low.
Yeah, there's just too little Hydralisk here.
Yeah, he just doesn't have enough to fight this. He's losing more and more units to the Zerglings. That's going to be it. GG is called, and Starkiller wins an incredibly fast series. We shall have to hope our players are ready to go.
Alright, just want to give a shout out to Sniper SC. Gave 10 bits during the game. So thank you, Sniper SC. Appreciate the bits and the support. And it looks like we'll be having our winner versus winners match coming right up. Hopefully Australia will be back pretty soon for that match. Alright, but in the meantime, as we wait for our players, just let's give another shout out to one of our sponsors, GameStop. GameStop has always given power to the players. Now they bring it specifically to esports players. GameStop's new program features coaching and more from some of the world's most prominent teams and players. So give Game Shop website a visit, do the Match Arena quest. If you press the Match Arena quest, you can contribute an additional 20 cents to the prize pool. So I'm sure that all the players in the tournament will appreciate that, as well as GameStop. So once again, thank you, GameStop, one of our sponsors, giving power to the players.
We shall have Australia and Starkiller, a WCS tier match. Coming up next, the winner will advance to Group B, and the loser will have to fight it out against Matisse or Syke to make it into Group A.
This is going to be a heavy-duty WCS-worthy matchup against Australia and Starkiller, as both of them have finished pretty high in WCS before.
Yeah, I believe, was it the round of 32 or the round of 16 of WCS winter that Starkiller made it into?
I believe it was like the round of 16, I believe.
Or, there you go.
Or maybe it would, maybe 8
really
even.
well.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a round of 8.
Okay, I think he barely just made, almost made 8, but he barely lost in the round of 16, I think.
That would make sense. Yeah, it did very well, did Starkiller. Australia did a little bit better. But overall, both of these players are very, very powerful. Very, very skilled. Can't wait to see them duke it out in PvZ. And we will have a TVZ as our losers match, as predicted. Australia versus Starkiller for the winners, Syke versus Matisse for the losers, and then 2 of those players will join up again to play match number 5, the elimination match for the final fate of Group D and the round of 16.
Yeah.
All the vetoes are going down. Should we take a look at our groups so far?
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and go to the Wikipedia page here. As you can see, if you want to see it on your own, guys, you can go ahead and type in exclamation bracket into the Twitch chat, which will trigger the night bot to bring up the Wikipedia page. But you can see it right here on your screen here. We have the round of 16. Group A, B, C are already done. We have Art and Burning coming out of Group A. We have Bio Ice and Hino making it out of Group B. And then Ro16 and Light coming out of Group C. And then, of course, we are now live with Group D. And we have pretty much our round of 8 groups set. We just need to complete Group D to finish the rest of the seedings for Group A and B of the round of 8. But in the meantime, you do have Art, Light, and Bio Ice in Group A in the round of 8, while Group B has Hino, Ro16, and Burning.
And yeah, that's who it was, one of our top seeds who came second in his group. It was Light. Ro16 beating him out.
Mm-hmm.
The Art, Light, and Bio Ice. That's a pretty formidable group. I would not want to be in that group.
Yeah, and whoever comes out of Group D is definitely going to be up there as well. So Group A is going to definitely be packed with some great players.
Yeah. As I said, just imagine how hilarious it would be if Australia made it into that group somehow. That would be the group of death when all groups are death.
And of course, once
see, maybe Starkiller can, if any kind of player can pull off the upset, it's someone like Starkiller.
Oh yeah, he has a unique playing style, so that kind of sometimes confuses his opponents and kind of mess them up and trips them up. And I think that's how Starkiller is so good. He can definitely be a wild card in terms of being able to knock out a higher tier player.
The funny part is, though, you could say every word in that sentence, replace a Starkiller with Australia, and it would also make sense.
Yeah, that's true.
They are both very similar in the sense that they do not play by the same rules as the other players. They can play standard, but very often choose not to, and play a very aggressive and unconventional style.
For
So
sure.
I think Starkiller is more predictable to those who know him well. He has general styles that he likes to play, even if they're not the norm. For instance, his Roach Ravager style in CBT. But with Australia, I've seen many of his games now, and I never know what he's going to do.
Alright, looks like they're still vetoing here.
They are indeed.
Alright, so the top 2 of each group from the round of 8 will advance to the playoffs, which will be a best of 5 in the semifinals. And then of the finals will be a best of 7. We'll be casting the semifinals and the finals on the same day, unlike the Contenders Cup, which we casted them on different days.
Yes, that's going to be one hell of a day. Remember, the winner of this... Everyone who advances from this group gets a minimum of $25 USD. And the semi-finalists get $50, the finalists get $100, and the winner gets $200 US dollars. So there's definitely a lot for these players to fight for.
Yep. And if you want to support all these players, of course, you can contribute to the Our Matcherino, to the prize pool. Just type in !Matcherino into the Twitch chat. It'll bring you up the Matcherino link, as well as the code in which you can contribute 50 cents for free. Just enter the coupon code. And if you want to contribute additional contribute additional funds to the prize pool, you can, of course, do those quests. The quest from GameStop, as well as 24-hour fitness.
Alright, so it will be Cyber Forest, Port Alexander, and Kairos. No, not Kairos Junction. That was the first map we videoed. Cyber Forest, Port Alexander, and what was the last map in the pool?
Let's see.
There's always the 7th one that I always forget about.
Your Pageant CP.
Automaton.
Oh,
there
yeah,
it is.
Automaton, yeah.
It's normally New Repugnancy that I forget about.
Oh.
But in this case, it was Automaton that I forgot.
Interesting. Xeno never forgets about that map.
Well, I'm not Xeno.
That's true. Although they recently changed the map so that you can't do the 2 pylon cannon rush anymore. So, unfortunate.
Huh.
They finally did it after so many
that.
time. After so many time passed by.
Huh. I still patrol a probe at the bottom of my ramp. Maybe I should stop doing that.
Yeah, they just did it in the recent patch, so.
Ah, there you go. Good to know. Although it's still probably a pretty nice place if you just put 3 pylons there. Both these players bantering. Starkiller saying is starting to learn my style, so presumably these two do play against each other, and it does fit with what I've observed before, namely, Starkiller is an unconventional player, but he has styles that he likes to play. They're just not the same as everybody else's. Australia, on the other hand, he's more like an SOS. He just does whatever the hell he wants at any time. So let's see how this goes. In the upper left, defeating Matisse 2-0 with some very aggressive plays. Can he do the same against this much more formidable opponent? It is Starkiller.
Oh.
And we have Central, which is fine.
Alright, we're gonna go ahead and just remake the game here.
We were on US West, I see.
Yeah.
Alright, take 2.
All right.
Cyber Forest, very small map. Definitely one that would favor Starkill's variant of aggression, so no wonder he picked it first. He himself said he did not like big maps during the veto. In the upper left, taking down Slyke. Can he take down his opponent now again? It is Australia! God Destroyer versus God Killer.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have the blue Zerg player. He might be known as God Killer or even Queen Killer, but to us, he is Star Killer.
Point is, he kills things. That's the important
Yeah,
takeaway.
that's the core
So-
message.
So we are seeing a 12 pool against Australia who is not walling off.
What is this?
He's just making these things at his main base, which could actually prove quite helpful. Except Australia doesn't scout. Remember? He's making 2 gases as well in PVC. What?
This is.
I get more and more baffled every time I see this man play.
I know, right? Oh my god.
But I think Starkiller has his number. Because Australia does not scout very often. So these 8 lings are just going to catch Australia completely with his pants down. But no, he's building a zealot. He just insists on not scouting and is willing to play blindly, extremely defensively in order to make it work. I can't get a read on that guy. I don't know what his plan is or what. This has actually turned out well against the 12 pool, and he cancels this immediately. Cancels the Nexus.
Yes.
Good probe drill goes down. Buying time. Where's the Oh, the Zealot's just going across the other side of the map, is it? Where'd that Zealot go?
I think he canceled it, right? I think he canceled it in favor of the.
Oh, that's actually terrible news for Australia. He has some good probe drilling though. Has only lost 4 probes so far, but it lost a lot of mining time. And now here comes the Adept to save the day. And good moves on those probes to save most of their number. Still 5 probes gone down, but it could have been a lot worse. It could have been just immediately GG. But there is no Nexus for Australia. Remember that.
So I would definitely give Austria, or rather Starkiller, the edge after that.
I think so too. It's going to take a long time for this Nexus to complete, and in the meantime, Starkiller could catch up economically. He's making more drones, but I think more lings, but I think that's just to defend against this Adept. Swear in a nutshell, I feel like, is that he makes these heroic defensive plays that are only necessary because he doesn't scout.
He has so many, I guess, experiences with these types of games, probably because he didn't wall off.
Actually, I think Starkill is just going to go for a speedling follow-up because he knows the Destroyer is not walling off.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean, his overload's
Yeah.
right there. He sees it. He sees how open it
Exactly.
is. I mean, Australia has an open door policy at this point.
That's right. And he's building a Robo and Forge now. Not really a PVC opener. He doesn't know which matchup this is, right?
I think so.
It's rare only got up just before this tournament, so he's just so tired. He's like, oh wait, Starkiller's not a Protoss player. What am I doing?
Oh, but here, the speed just finished. Here comes the Lings. There are 3 sentries.
Yep, there's going to be a lot of force fields here. But they're actually looking to break through. One of them does. Oh, but good force fields will save that sentry. Starkiller feels like there has to be some way through, surely, but there are enough force fields that it looks like this will not actually work for him. Oh, he's going after the pylon. 2 more pylons do go down. 3 pylons going to go down to block this wall off entirely. And the sentries will be enough to save the day, though they do unpower the Robo and the Forge temporarily. They're going to just go after the Robo, but I don't even know if that's going to work.
Oh.
These sentries don't have a ton of DPS, but they've got enough.
I think with that defense, all of a sudden, I feel like, yeah, Australia's now, he's way ahead.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Starkiller is just continuing to attack for some reason.
I think Starkiller just
He's not
threw
going
the
to break
game.
through this many sentries. Yeah, he was in a big economic position, but then he spent all that money on those lings, which initially seemed like a good idea, but then he threw them away. And again. He's just making more and more speedlings, and I don't think this is a defense that's going to work. I don't think this is an offense that's going to work, I'm sorry. He does finally get a few speedlings in, but there's just not enough of them, and even that good force field shuts that down completely. And now we're going to have an Immortal Sentry follow-up push from Australia, which could be just very deadly.
Yeah, he's still stuck on just Ling Tech.
He's just making more and more speedlings and hoping it's going to win him the day. But as we get more and more units out for Australia, I just don't know. I guess he's waiting for the chance to counterattack?
Yeah, he's
But
waiting.
it's 48 workers to 25 now.
He's hoping to have Australia move out and have his door open, and then just flood in with the Lings and kill all the probes there. That might be his only chance at this point.
I think Australia is going to wall off completely, yeah, and he's going to do that now.
Yeah.
Only with the Zealot though, so that could be broken. There is a cannon going down, and we have a Baneling nest coming down, so I guess Starkill is going to go for a very late Baneling bust to try and finish this game off. But Australia is already moving across the map with a ton of units. We may see a base trade come down. I feel right now that's Starkiller's only chance.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
these Lings here, they're not going to beat this army. Unless he wants to send his army back and try and flank this with a ton of speedlings and overwhelm the force fields. But even then, this third base is going to go down. I don't think that's the right move. And here comes Starkiller. He's going to try and break down this wall, and I think he's going to succeed because there's nothing here. He breaks down these pylons. The cannon is unpowered. The Baneling gets a ton of damage done. 8 probes down, 11 probes down, but he's going to need to do a lot more than that. He does recall. And I think with that, I mean, the damage was done, but I just don't see it being enough. Starkiller's taken it. Australia's taken out a base. He's recalled his units. There's not enough units elsewhere to really threaten him. And Australia is still way ahead. He's going to go for another huge backstab as his attempt to win this. It's now 3 bases to 2 on Australia's side. I guess the base trade really is Starkiller's best bet.
Yeah,
Use up the recall.
even so, I think it's getting a little bit more dire by the second here.
Oh yeah, and once these Archons finish, that's just going to be completely the end for the Ling Bane. They will never be able to fight against this army again. You could even just imagine one Archon behind this wall, it would never be breached.
Yeah.
Here come the Banelings though. He's going to try. But the army is here this time. He's going to go for a flank. He's going to attack the third base with some Lings while sending the Banelings in and then sending the majority of the Lings through into the natural. Good force field goes down. 2 force fields go down.
Oh!
And oh, that is a good force field, trapping so many of those Lings. They're going to attack the Forge to try and free themselves, but oh, it doesn't quite even work. And yeah, Australia just has so much that these Lings just can't do anything. And that's just going to be it. GG well played from Starkiller, and Australia takes game number 1 in a very strange game.
Strange indeed. Oof.
It always feels like Australia was baiting these moves out of Starkiller when you look at the game afterwards. I mean, the Speedlings, even the 12 pool, Australia might have known that and just been ready to defend against it. It seemed like Starkiller abused Australia's playstyle, but too good and too prepared anyway.
Well, remember he was making that Zealot in the beginning, but unfortunately for him, he just randomly canceled it. I think it would have been really helpful during the defense of those initial 6 Lings.
Yeah, I guess the idea was that he would make the Zealot, and then if he didn't scout anything to indicate that an attack was coming, he would cancel it. But then the attack happened a little too late. I feel like that's a game that Starkiller should have won, but Australia just knows how to make this weird style of his work against anything.
Yeah. Now all the Protosses are gonna not wall against Zergs.
I wonder if Australia had been up against someone rank, if it still would have worked out for him. I mean, I guess it clearly does, right? I mean, if he is at the rank he's at.
I know. I think if you can not wall and get to WCS top 6, I think you're good.
Jeez. So crazy. Alright, in the top left, giving his casters aneurysms, it is Australia.
And in the bottom right, we have the Blue Zerg also giving casters aneurysms. It is Starkiller.
I don't feel like Starkiller gives him aneurysms in the same way that Australia does. Starkiller's like, oh, that's an interesting strategy. And Australia's like, is that a strategy? What is he doing? And why is it working? How does it always work?
Well,
So it looks like Starkiller's going across to deny the Nexus of Australia with a proxy hatch. Will it get there in time? Because this is a Nexus first out of Australia. And it looks like it will get there in first. It will get there first. So that's actually like tremendous news for Starkiller. Like, was he going to throw down a Forge? I think he was going to throw down a Forge, but I think he's changed his mind.
I think he was going to go for Nexus first, and then...
Yeah, I mean, he was going to throw down a Nexus, but then he built a gateway, and then there was the ghostly image of a Forge about to be built very temporarily.
Okay.
I think it was a misclick. Meanwhile, Australia doing a little bit of hatch denial of his own. Starkiller is going to go to another base and take a base there, while a ton of probes get pulled to cancel this hatchery, and it will be made into an Evo chamber just for maximum Zerg dickishness before it will be cancelled. And in order to complete the trifecta, what we'll probably want to do next is steal one of the gases of Starkiller, of Australia. Will we see it?
Yep.
Will we steal the gas? We'll see the gas still. Yes, we. Australia still has not taken gas, though. Apparently, he decides that gas is not necessary in a PvZ.
Yeah, I guess he wanted to make that Nexus as soon as possible.
He did indeed. But his tech is going to be so delayed. So I wonder what he's going to do as the follow-up. Maybe a few gates, go for some gateway aggression, like adepts.
Well, I
They
guess.
don't require much gas.
I mean, I guess maybe in his mind, he probably thinks it's okay because Starkiller, his tech might be late as well with the little shenanigans he tried to pull it off in the beginning. So
Yeah, it's very true. And a Roach Warren is the follow-up for Starkiller.
Oh.
I like this. His opponent doesn't have much gas. Doesn't really have the gas for tech units like Immortals or Oracles to stop these roaches. He's going to be reliant mostly on like Adepts and maybe a few Stalkers. Even Sentries cost a ton of gas, and you really need those gas units to fight off these roaches.
Yeah, and
I think this is a great idea.
And that scouting probe was denied, so it does not scout the Roach Warren. And I don't see any sentries coming out, so I don't think there's going to be any hallucinated scout anytime soon.
Yeah, there's not enough gas. He's building a single shield battery, but a Stalker and a shield battery against 7 Roaches, well, we both know who wins that fight. It's a draw. Protoss is overpowered. And he's walling off completely, so that is helpful, but this is, oh man, this is the mother of Artosis pylons right here. If that gets taken out, he is building another pylon now. I would like to see those Lings just go after this pylon. But I don't know if they would actually be able to kill him. Here comes the sentry now. We are seeing these Roaches swarming across the map with some speedling follow-ups. Australia has the economic advantage, but Starkiller has so many units. This could be very, very deadly for him indeed. He's only got 1 Stalker and 1 Sentry, more and more Roaches and Lings streaming across the map. Can even Australia, the Miracle Man himself, win this one?
You might even be able to take out the Cybernetic Core before Gateway research. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe it's going to be close.
I don't know if he will, but he would have to
close.
focus it right now. And I don't think he's going to. He's going to go after this pylon instead and try and break through. Yeah, Warp Gate will finish. And this pylon is pretty safe. And the Zerglings try and go in, but they will be denied. But this Cybercore will go down very quickly, which means he's only going to have essentially 1 warp in of actual units. Oh, and he doesn't get the warp in time, so he's got nothing but Zealots. And those are going to get swarmed and killed pretty quickly. Starkiller actually, yep, GG, that's it. Starkiller takes game number 2, and it's 1 game away from advancing.
Oh, we have a match, boys. And
these players speed running this day. We were only a little over an hour in and we were already more than halfway through.
Yep. Both these players are just bringing on the strange games here.
Yeah, the aggression starts coming and it just does not stop. Man, watching these players play as a head spin, it's also very clear that they practice together a lot. They're clearly friends, so they probably get even weirder when they face each other in a tournament match. Because both of their normal weirdness, despite our inability to comprehend it, has already been, you know, well established to these players. So they have to get even stranger in order to pull one over on each other.
Yeah, and sooner or later they will start in Stranger Things 4, coming to a summer near you.
Well, these games certainly are upside down, that is for sure. Well, you don't wall off in PvZ, and the counter to having your Lings killed is to make more Lings. In the bottom left, tying up the series, can he beat his on paper better opponent, the tricky Zerg himself? It is Starkiller.
And spawning at the top right, he is the green Protoss. He is Australia to the max.
I don't believe this. He's not walling off his natural again.
Yeah, I guess he's
gonna wall off his main.
Which is also weird. Australia walling off at all is might be considered weird.
I think he does in PvP. I think he walls off in PvP. Actually, wait. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Yeah.
I remember that series now against, what was it, Patience.
Yeah, he's notorious for not walling off in PvP too.
And he goes for the 2 gas. Again, this looks exactly like a PvP. His favorite matchup is PvP, so we decided, you know, I can just do this in every matchup. Why not? And we have a very fast gas, very fast pull off a 15 hatch. The Starkiller, so he's going to get very aggressive off this, but psych, Australia's on 1 base and he's walled off on 1 base. What's your aggression going to do now, who's stupid? I wonder if this is a response to Starkiller specifically, actually.
It's possible, yeah.
But if that was the case, why wouldn't he just scout him? Australia, you continue to be a mystery wrapped in an enigma. I love watching him play. I always feel dumb, as if there's something going on behind the scenes that I don't understand.
It looked for a second like Australia was gonna go ahead and scout finally, but decides to go ahead and make that nexus, and now he goes back to scout. All right, this is oh wait, no, he doesn't. Okay, he's just proving all the cancers really dumb at this point.
I think he's sending out the probe in case a bunch of lings are coming at him, so he can send that probe back and then get a pylon up at his wall. But now that his sentry's out, he's okay to scout. I don't know. But here come the Zergling, and they will actually miss this scouting. And this is going to be a lot of speedlings. Oh man. And there's no wall off for Starkiller. But it's only 15 drones for Starkiller, so he needs to do some pretty tremendous damage. Just denying the Nexus might not be enough. And I don't think he's going to break into the main. I feel like he might have overcommitted to this aggression. He's even got a bunch of lings that just aren't doing anything. And he's just trying to bust up the ramp. That's very ambitious of him. And it's just not going to work. Again, he's just going for this against these sentries. That's not how force fields work, Starkiller. You can't do this. He's gonna go after the Nexus instead, which I think is a better move. As Australia fully walls himself off. And Starkiller is starting to drone up. Loses a bunch of links to force fields. Both players clearly know each other's weakness extremely well.
Yeah, it would seem so.
And we have a bunch of pylons being made for Australia here at the main ramp. I'm not sure why they're being built there, but Australia is supply blocked, so he does need these pylons somewhere. And we have a Roach Warren who has to follow up for Starkiller. So I guess he's going to want to do the same kind of aggression again. And it just might work.
But this time it's going to be scouted by Australia with that War Prism going into the main here.
Yeah, indeed it will, and we'll see what he does as a response to. There's going to be so many speedlings. I don't see how this Nexus is going to stay up. Sentries are good at defending themselves, but not necessarily defending a Nexus. Oh, we do have a couple of adepts, and most of these lings have fled the building. The lings will keep the adepts off the drones, while in the meantime the queens can bash away this Warp Prism. In the meantime, lots of force fields need to be spent just to keep these sentries alive, and the lings will just retreat and wait for their moment.
Oh, but these two...
A Stalker and a sentry will get trapped and killed straight away, but more and more sentries being forced for Australia to stay alive. He's making more drones though, he's not making roaches at the moment, and an Immortal is now on the way. The drones will sneak past the sentries and attack, but I'm not sure if that can actually do the trick. More and more force fields are being forced out, but it looks like Australia has enough force fields to make it work. Oh, and he gets into the main base. He will scout what's going on, get some damage done, loses lings in the end. I don't know who's ahead in this... Australia is ahead in this game, actually, now, because all of these lings are going to be killed off, and the sentries have not been killed, and it's still 2 bases to 2.
Yeah, not enough.
This Roach Warren hasn't actually paid off for Starkiller.
Oh, some more additional harass by these adepts too.
So we'll get this creep tumor. And now Australia's going across the map for a counterattack. No, he's not. Can you hear me, Australia? If you can hear me, dance to your unit.
Imagine if he did dance. Oh my god.
We do have a delay on this stream.
Yep, 2-minute delay.
Not that we really need to do because it's an internal tournament, but still. A bunch of roaches now on the way for Starkiller as well, but Australia just in a dominant position. The build, the intriguing nature of his build, it's got some weaknesses, but Starkiller was not able to exploit that and kill him like he was in game number 2. And now Starkiller spent a lot of money trying, and this Warp Prism is now getting some serious harass damage done. +1 melee on the way for start. As Australia moves to take a 5th.
I think Australia at this point is just biding his time, trying to decide when will be the best time to attack. Although this hallucinated scout needs to go just scout, it looks like he's just gonna... Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, well, he's ahead, so there's no reason not to at the moment. He can just continue to do chip damage with his Warp Prism. Ooh, will lose an Adept not quite paying attention there. Bunch of Ravages being made for Starkiller.
Yeah, but look at like
as he's getting a lair.
Oh, look at the crease spread by Starkiller at this point. I mean, that harassment has done a bunch of damage in terms of slowing down the creep.
Oh yeah. And we have a Robo Bay coming out for Australia as well, so I wonder if it's going to go for Colossi or Disruptors. I imagine with all these Ravagers and such out, probably Disruptors are going to be the tech of choice. Ravager Ling for Starkiller, that's not really a style with a ton of late game equity. So I'm a bit worried for Starkiller as the game goes on. He's behind and doesn't appear to be taking steps to change that.
Yeah, I think maybe he might want to go ahead and try throw down a Spire. But again, Australia has been keeping up with his hallucinated scouting, so even then I don't think it will catch Australia by surprise if he threw down a Spire and went for a surprise Muta switch.
Yeah, he's going for Infestors though. Swarm Hosts could be pretty good on this map. And as a follow-up to the Ravager heavy style. I like that idea. Disruptors are the tech of choice, but if you land your Locust well, the Disruptors aren't actually that great against it because the Locust, you know, they die quickly anyway. If they get killed, so what?
Oh man, look at this pylon placement.
Yeah. He's just buying time, walling himself off, keeping himself safe. Disruptor shot goes out, forces a retreat. There's a lot of Immortals here. I don't think charge is done though. He's taking down this wall bit by bit, but Australia is just making it to buy time for himself to get those shield batteries up. Meanwhile, walling off at the third base as well to deny an all-out attack from the Lings of Australia. But the Ravagers kill buildings so quickly. But again, as time is on Australia's side here. Ooh, good force field takes out a bunch of Lings. This gateway almost going down. One more buyer will take it down. Six swarm hosts on the way. So Starkiller is continuing this strategy of aggression. I'd like to see a Niter Swarm come out from him just to move those swarm hosts around the battlefield. But it looks like he's going to do it the old-fashioned way. Probably send a bunch of swarm hosts into the main base while threatening at the natural and third. So it's Ravager Ling Swarm Host. You don't see that every day.
You sure don't.
One Swarm Host nearly goes down and is forced to use its Locusts as the Warp Prism spots it moving across the map. This could definitely catch some isolated Swarm Hosts as they try and travel. And Australia is moving out against these Swarm Hosts, trying to force them to use their Locusts early, which they do. Starkiller does have the supply lead now, but it is a lot of it in Ravagers and Swarm Hosts, but he's making 10 more Swarm Hosts. He's going to go for this mass Swarm Host strategy. But he still only has 3 bases. And 47 drones, so... time not on his side, as 3 Stargates come up for Australia all at once.
Yeah, I think he might be... I don't know, maybe he's suspecting a Muta switch or something, but he did see the Infestors.
Yeah. Or maybe he wants to go into like I honestly think a bunch of Oracles would do tremendously well against this strategy.
Oh yeah.
Ravagers, Swarm Hosts, they all die super quick to those. Ooh, and these Zealots still don't have charge, remember. Oh, and here comes the Disruptor shot, which is dodged, but ooh, a good shot comes out. A couple of Ravagers will go down, but overall, not bad, but doesn't even lose a Ravager, does Australia, doing very nicely at forcing out these Locust shots and preventing an entire wave being thrown. I think he wants to use these Locusts to try and take out that one Disruptor, but it does not succeed. We'll send a few more Locusts to attack the wall at the third base. And so far these Locusts haven't done a ton of damage. That might change now though as they descend on this third base.
Interestingly,
They will take out the cannon, but that's about it.
yeah, interestingly enough, Starkiller is just throwing these Locusts one batch at a time for some reason. So it's not.
Yeah, I guess he's trying to split up the damage, and there it is, 3 Oracles at a time.
Oh,
You just
wow.
gotta think like a Threya, Snoopy. Mass Oracles in the late game as a counter to Swarm Hosts. It all makes sense now. Oh, beautiful Disruptor shots.
The standard 13
There are
minute
so
Oracles.
many Swarm Hosts here. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know why he is throwing them out little by little. I feel like they would be more effective as a solid batch here.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, he's sending out a bunch of them now. They're not all going in at once, but they're doing what they can. They do take out a Colossus. And that Starkiller's economy is like basically nothing and has been for a very long time. But if there's one unit that can get a lot of value over time if played correctly, it is the Swarm Host. But it feels like eventually Australia is just gonna have this critical mass, and it might just be now because there's not even any Spore Crawlers anywhere except one in the main, and there's 6 Oracles heading towards Starkiller's third right now. So I feel as though this might be the nail in the coffin for him.
Oh boy.
I thought he was making them to counter the Swarm Host, but instead he's just making them to kill literally everything else in the game. Oh, and these Disruptors actually do get caught out, but they do move pretty fast. And the Locusts will swarm on in and attack this Colossus and take it down pretty much instantly. The Locusts are getting some serious damage done now. They're taking out Disruptors, they're taking out Colossi, but it's just too late. Starkiller's lost every worker he has. He's basically got to win the game with these Swarm Hosts now.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he can do that. He's making 5 Infestors to go with this. Maybe to trap the Oracles? He's going after the third base. He's taking out a lot of probes, actually. 23 probes have now gone down. But these Oracles will come back and they will start to just attack these defenseless Swarm Hosts.
Oh man. Luckily for him, the Oracle wasted most of his energy on his drone lines, so he can't really zap too much of the army, but still.
Yes, they
this is
wasted
painful.
their energy killing 40 workers.
Yeah.
Really pretty dumb of them, honestly. I don't know what he was thinking. I love this burrow move.
Oh wow.
2 more Oracles come into the fray, though. And remember, Starkiller, 12 workers. There's not really much you can do here. These
12.
Oracles are just eventually going to win.
Yeah. He's just waiting for the energy to accumulate once again.
As long as Starkiller doesn't kill Australia outright in the next couple of minutes, the Oracles are just going to have enough energy to slowly but surely take it. Especially since the Revelation means the burrow doesn't work. Here comes the mass of Locust. I wonder if he wants to try and fungal the army with this, with the Infestors, or fungal the Oracles.
But these
and oh man,
Locusts.
the Locust doing tremendous damage all of a sudden. But I just think it's I think it's too little, too late.
Yeah, but look at the army supply.
Oh, the fungal growths do get the Oracles, but they can split up. Yeah, the army supply is ahead for Starkiller, but look at the,
Yeah, the worker.
look at the quality of the units we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, that's
There's
true.
not much of a harder counter than this.
Oh.
That we're seeing right here.
These Oracles are having a
And
heyday.
Australia's unusual tactic works out extremely well. GG well played from Starkiller, and Australia will advance 2-1. In possibly the weirdest series the Champions Cup has seen.
It's up there, I gotta say. Looks like Starkiller saying you won the meme war, so Australia will get to advance to the round of 8 as well as win the meme war.
There are no winners in a meme war, Snoopy. There are no winners. How are we supposed to sleep tonight? Having seen what we've seen, knowing what we know.
I know, right?
War never changes. Anyway, I'll tell our next players that we are ready for them.
Yep, and that will be Psych against Matisse. Or Mattis.
Matisse, it seems.
Matisse? Okay.
I've just let
Alright.
Psych know that he's up.
Alright, while
And
you
they're
get
both.
while you get
ready?
the players set up, I'm just gonna go ahead and take a bathroom break, so just carry on.
Alrighty, let's tell these players what to do. Matt is his highest seed, so he has the first veto. First map pick. ABABBSC. Once again, this tournament is brought to you by our sponsors. Our third sponsor being Bubba Burger, producer of high quality frozen burgers in the US. You don't need to thaw them out, you can just take them from frozen, put them straight in the oven and onto the grill, and they are still very much edible and delicious. The big draw of Bubba Burger. They also have a ton of different flavors. They've got turkey, they've got chicken, they've got beef. They've even got veggie burgers for those of you who are vegetarian, but still enjoy a good burger every now and then. So anyone who doesn't want to have to doesn't want to have to thaw a burger, should try out Bubba Burger. And from what I've heard from people in the clan who've been able to try them, I'm in Australia, I haven't been able to try them myself. They are very high quality and very much worth it. So thank you to all of our sponsors, Bubba Burger, GameStop, and 24 Hour Fitness for making these matches possible. We certainly wouldn't be able to offer the prize pool that we can without their support. We have our vetoes, now we're just waiting on our map picks. Psych will have the first map pick, and he picks Port Alexander. We'll have Port, Cyber, and King's Cove. So it's going to be Port, Kings, and Cyber as our order. And it will be a TVZ. So we're going to have a pretty wide variety of maps in terms of the aggression factor. Thank you. Now it is my time to do a bathroom break. I have given the shout out for Bubba Burger. So you can just talk about these players or whatever you would like. I'll be back in 2 minutes. The videos have been done. We're going to be doing Port, Kings, and East US because Mattis is from Europe.
Alright.
Be right back.
Alright, so while these players are doing the map vetoes, let's go ahead and... Oh, I think Salivant is having a bit of a... This mic is having a bit of a... Oh, okay, never mind. It looks like the shock is gone, or the static noise. Anyhow, let's go ahead and talk about one of our sponsors, which is 24 Hour Fitness. So we would like to thank 24 Hour Fitness for being one of our sponsors. Events like these will not be possible without their support. They have membership for you can get your membership for 24 Hour Fitness, as they are open at 24 hours, and they give you you can get a bunch of different memberships. They're located in 436 locations nationwide. And if you want to... Oh, there goes that little static noise. Sorry for that. Hopefully Salaman can come back and fix that. But anyhow, you can achieve your fitness goals attain your dream body with 24-hour fitness. Once again, we'll play a 30-second commercial from one of our sponsors, 24-hour fitness.
Time is now, place is here to rest. Feeling the holes on my soul. I see, I like, I go, I get. No one can hold me back. I see, I like, I go, I get. Go, I get, go, I get, go, I get now. Go, I get, go, I get, go, I get now.
Nuclear missile.
All right, so there is 24-hour fitness. They have studio classes, pools, cardio equipment, all included in your membership. So go ahead and you can try them out for 7 days for free via the Match Arena quest. If you go ahead and go there and I think retweet or follow, you can try out their 7-day free plan.
And I'm back.
All right, welcome back, Sal. Looks like we have our first game here.
We do indeed. Maddies versus Psych. The lower seeds so far. The games have very much not gone as anticipated, but the match results have gone as would be expected on paper, even if the how didn't really pan out. We'll see if that continues, as the winner of this will go on to face Starkiller in the final match. It's worth remembering Matties was on the incorrect server and either did not notice or did not point it out until the match against Starkiller was over, so he might be considerably more of a threat should he win this match in the second go round. Alright, in the upper left, losing some quick games to Starkiller, looking for revenge, looking for redemption, it is Matiz.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have the orange Terran player. He is Psych.
So, Australia will advance to Group B, and we have exactly one spot left in the round of 8. The last 3 players will compete for only one can win.
Yep, and whoever loses this series will go home, unfortunately, and will not be able to go to, or have the hope of going to the round of 8, where they will at least get themselves a guaranteed money of $25. So they definitely want to advance.
You know, if these players were just gonna speedrun this group, they could have told us in advance so I could have slept in an extra hour. We still could have finished on time. I mean, come on.
If only we knew. If only we knew.
If only indeed. So a proxy 2-rack will be the play. Not really one of those macro proxies. I mean, you can macro out of it, but you definitely need to get damage done with this. Oh my god, Matisse is going for a third hatchery.
Oh no. Oh no.
That's not gonna stay up. And here come the bunkers, and now Matisse will see the first SCV and be like, what? This is the second SCV? And be like, oh no. I know what this is. First Marine is already up to protect the building SCV, and a ton of drones. A whole flock of drones will be pulled. The first bunker looks like it will be cancelled. But I imagine there's going to be another 2 bunkers going up next, and there are 3 Marines defending us this time, and a nice little wall off to protect them.
Oh,
So the drones are they're just sort of moving around. There are 4 Marines now. There's a lot of Marines here, but here come the Zerglings to help defend, and we'll see what happens. Need good micro from Psych, and he's got it. He's got that micro going, but his focus fire leaves a bit to be desired, but his kiting is fantastic, and he's just kiting against all of these drones and lings and forcing them back. And now the bunkers are done.
oh man, this is bad
He needs
news.
to deny these Marines from getting in, but the Marines are just going to keep on kiting and kiting and kiting these lings to their deaths. More and more lings coming on out. The SCVs cannot repair, And there may actually be enough Lings to defend this, actually. But in the meantime, I'd say Psyche is in a pretty great position after all the drones and workers he's killed. But it is 2 bases to 1 still, as the factory finishes.
Ooh.
So Matisse holds. He does survive. And in the meantime, these Lings will try and kill these Marines without success. Oh, I believe that was a mistake from Matisse. These Marines still very much still a threat. And speed is not done. There's still 96 gas and no more being mined at the moment. That's actually very bad news for Matisse. He's putting another one on now so he can start speed. He's forced to make more and more Lings against this. Meanwhile, we've got a Hellion and a second base. And a starport for Sykes. He's just building up his tech very nicely and really taking this fight to Matisse, and there's really not much Matisse can do because Sykes can always just back away.
Yeah, and speed isn't
until
done.
speed is finished, which will not be for a long time, but I don't think Sykes knows exactly how late this speed is. So I think he's going to try and kill the hatchery and then back off. We'll see if he actually can kill it.
Oh, it's getting halfway down.
Yeah, the Lings are trying to flank and get around the Marines. But eventually they're going to be forced to fight, and they're going to be forced to fight off creep. And these Marines, oh, they do get a bit surrounded, but they do manage to grease themselves up and dive on out of there. And Psych, man, he's just continuing to push forward with this pressure. Even if he doesn't kill this hatchery, this is already tremendous damage, forcing so many Lings out. And he just might kill it anyway. Liberator now on the way, another Hellion. He's building more and more of these tech units and forcing Matisse to essentially be at a standstill. Forced to just continue to make more and more Lings. Speed finally finishes, which will fend off these Marines at last. But Matisse does not look like a player who is 5 minutes into a game. Neither does Psych, but he certainly looks a bit ahead of Matisse in terms of time spent. As the barracks will finally lift off and retreat. But now here comes the Liberator. And a bunch of Hellions being made out one at a time. With all these Hellions just sort of staying back, I'm surprised he didn't make a reactor, but I guess he didn't really know when he wanted to move out. Maybe if he'd gotten enough damage done, he would have gone for it, or maybe he was expecting a counter-attack. Here come the Hellions now. There are 4 of them. They will be doing pretty well, and there are no spores to fend off this Lib. A couple are being made now. And the Queens will fend this off pretty nicely. Good defense from Matisse.
Yeah.
Psyche is still ahead, but I wouldn't say he's super far ahead. This game is still winnable for Matisse. Just, it's going to be an uphill battle. 3rd command center on the way though for Psyche. Deciding not to go for a 2-base timing to try and end the game, but rather to progress into a later game, later stages. I wonder if he's going to try for a drop on this natural later on to try and take it down. It is pretty low on health. It is certainly something Matisse needs to worry about as the game progresses and goes on.
Well, luckily for him, Zerg buildings can heal over time, so at least he can restore some of the life points there.
Yeah, very much true. 2 engineering bays and steam on the way for Psyche as well. He's just getting all the upgrades he needs to progress into the later stages of the game. Matisse just trying to get his economy up. So I'd say Psyche is, yeah, in a pretty dominating position.
Oh, but this Liberator does go undetected and will be able to snipe out additional drones. 4 drones going down.
Gets in exactly the right position, and now the Liberator can retreat to the top left-hand corner of the map.
And it survives.
Where it cannot be touched. And here come the Hellions. They're attacking the 3rd base, but there aren't actually any drones there yet. Can't lose drones at Human Reliance if they're not there. And here comes the lair. Matisse is still very far behind in the overall tech tree though. He doesn't even have his Evo chambers. He's just now getting them, but 1-1 is already well underway. Now here come the Hellions. They do get a bit of a bad angle on this, so they will be taken out with only a couple of drones killed. That's a very nice victory for Matisse, even as Sykes supply begins to climb. At least Matisse has taken out those Hellions with very little loss to himself. Is making more drones and now finally gets on an even economic footing. But here comes the Liberator doing even more damage once again. Oh man, that Liberator
wow.
has 7 kills now. And just again retreats to the back. And he can just keep on doing this throughout the game. That's going to be really annoying.
Yeah, there's no Mutalisk
And
or
a double
Corruptors out.
drop of 12 Marines. 12 Marines heading out to that third base, it would seem, to try and get some damage.
And this is a good timing
While the
because
third base lands.
them just finished, so it's like the perfect time to attack here.
Yeah, and there's only Lings out for Matisse, Lings and Queens, and not really all that many of either. He's getting +1/+1 and Baneling speed. +1/+1 is almost finished for the Terran player. And he's landed these Marines. I think he just wants to clear up creep, but he's gonna get more than he bargained for. Getting a lot of these tumors down, and there's really not that much that Matisse can do about it. And they're just gonna try and stim in and attack the third base, but I believe that might actually be a bit of an overextension. So yeah, there is a lot of Queens, but they do manage to get out in time. That Medivac very low, could have lost a lot of Marines there. But overall, the supply just continues to climb for Psych as the game goes on.
Yeah, I mean, the workers are pretty even, but the thing I'm really scared about is that upgrade deficit for Matisse. He's down the 1-to-1 upgrade. So, I mean, if you know Bao Army is just really benefit from those upgrades because their DPS is so high.
Oh yeah. It's important because Marines and Zerglings both do so much rapid fire damage with low damage per hit, which means that attack and armor upgrades are much more impactful. A Zergling does 20% more damage when it gets its +1 upgrade, and as a Marine takes 20% less damage with 1/1 upgrade. The less damage a unit does per shot, the more impact a single upgrade has. And that's why Marines and Zerglings both benefit so much from these upgrades, and why, as a result, you really need those upgrades in Bio versus Ling Bane.
Alright, Psych doing a nice job cleaning up some more creep tumors.
Yeah. Matisse is starting to catch up in the upgrade count, but he is down by 50 supply. The army supply is very much in Psych's favor, and when Psych does decide to move out, it's going to be pretty devastating. A hive on the way for Matisse. Matisse has decided his best bet is to just move straight up into high tech and try and use that to overcome the raw numbers advantage Matisse has, that Psych has. He will lose this building at 4th, however. It's still 3 bases, 2-3. And it looks like Psych has decided it's time to go. He has 6 siege tanks, a ton of Marines, and he'll probably have 2-2 finished or just about finished when it gets there. And that's going to be a push that I don't see Matisse beating. He's got Lings, Banes, and a few Hydralisks, 6 tanks, this ton of stimmed Marine. It's just going to be too much, I feel.
Oh man, yeah, this scary army here.
The tank's starting to leapfrog forward, the Lings doing what they can, the Baneling's not here, and there's only a handful of Banes as well. Good splits from Psych, as these Banelings are all just wash against this shore of Marines, unable to break through. And the tanks continue to leapfrog forward. This 4th gonna get denied again. Psych is up 60 supply. He's just in such a dominating position. He's continued to push this lead throughout this game. A couple of Vipers now on the way for Matisse, but I just don't think it's gonna do the trick. Even with the best blinding clouds in the world, even if he clears this army, he's still in serious trouble. And I don't see how he's gonna clear it. Psych does have a good spread of tanks.
Yeah, you'll probably need...
Kudos to him. We see a lot of players who are a lot higher ranked than him who often fail at this task.
Yeah, definitely.
And Psych doesn't even know the Vipers are out. But he's still doing it. Which is good. I like that. Medivac's a bit too far forward. And he does have a bit of a positioning issue on his tanks, but it's okay. He's still pushing through bit by bit. And he doesn't even need the tanks anymore. He's just charging forward with Marine Medivac army. Everything is going to go down, and that's going to be GG. And Psych is going to be winning game number 1 and 1 game away from eliminating Matisse. I can't imagine this game going on very much longer. And there it goes,
There it
GG.
goes.
Psych, with a pretty tremendous lead from that initial 2 racks, just continues to not let go of it throughout the rest of the game. Well fought from Matisse, but Psych just had too much of a lead for too long.
Yeah, Psych just played a really great standard textbook style Terran playing play style because we didn't see anything too crazy. I mean, well, he did the proxy racks. I mean, besides that, it kind of transitioned to a really standard game, and he just just really did nicely with the double medevac drops with the Marines, and then of course the Liberators. Those Liberators were just deadly.
I think it was only one.
Oh,
It was, that whole Liberator attack, that was just one Liberator.
Oh yeah, it got like a bunch of drones.
Yeah, it just started at the natural and moved across to the main, so it kind of looked like 2 because it was moving around so much over the course of the game.
I mean,
I'd like to see what happens in a more even game, though.
Yeah, I think because Matisse, I think after the first proxy bunker rush, Matisse was a little bit down. But if they were even, it could have been a different game. Because I think Matisse, considering how he was down from the beginning, I think he played really nicely.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think Matisse would definitely have a real shot in a more even game. But the question is, will Psych do something else to try and gain an advantage in the early game? And if so, how will Matisse respond, and will he be able to do better than the last time? This is King's Cove. It is a much longer map. It is a much larger. It is generally harder for Terran to attack Zerg early on, for either side to attack the other early on a map like this. So, in the upper left, stealing a quick game with a 2 racks and riding it all the way to victory. 1 game away from advancing to face Starkiller. It is Psych.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have the blue Zerg player, hoping to tie up the series and send it to the ace match. It is Matisse.
Alright, so it looks like it's going to be a gas first, but it looks like it's not going to be a proxy this time around from Psych. So it looks like he wants to be aggressive without being super committal to it. And Matisse is going to go for a hatch first again. Gas first usually means a pretty fast factory in this matchup. Not sure if he'll do it before his command center or not, but either way, he's going to want to get some tech units out, it looks like. And maybe put on some pressure early on. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Matisse copies his last build order where he went for fast 3 bases. Will he be confident enough to go for the fast 3 bases knowing that, there's the threat of the proxy 2 racks? Looks like he is going to go ahead and at least scout around, see if he's able to.
Yeah, this is a scout. I don't know if he'll come back and make a third, but he's scouting out for those proxy racks. He's sent. Notice that pattern of his overlords and the pattern of his drones. It scouts pretty much every possible location except the location north of his natural. That's really the only location a proxy could be hidden and still get to his base at a reasonable time frame. And then Matisse will throw down that fast 3rd base. And it looks like Psych might be he is going out to make a proxy after all. Look, I think it's going to be a proxy factory. Oh no, there's the proxy factory, so it looks like he's just going to go for a pretty late scout of his own.
Yep.
Which is strange, because the Reaper is already on the way. I guess he just wanted to confirm it wasn't anything really crazy before heading on back, scouting to see if the 3rd base was up. And now we see the reactor coming down from the barracks, everything pretty standard so far from Psych. Wants to get that fast factory out, probably get some Hellions out on that, considering the reactor, and go into a more standard game, so it looks like I may get my wish. We may get our wish.
Finally.
Yeah, it's about time. Every match we've had so far has had one of Australia or Starkiller in it, so we haven't really gotten many standard games. They are not standard players, and we do love them for it.
Yes,
But it is good to see some regular games every now and then, just to break it up. This Reaper is continuing to be annoying, but the Queen will come down and fend it away.
This Reaper's only dream was to take down the hatchery all by himself. Unfortunately, I don't think it will be today. in which it will accomplish its goal.
Alas, it was not to be. A couple of Hellions going out very early to get some scouting and harass done. We'll see if they can actually achieve anything. The 2 Hellions and the Reaper. More and more Hellions being produced. We'll have to see if he wants to go up to 6 or 8. 6 generally means, you know, pretty standard opening. 8 usually means Hellbats, or something along those lines.
Overlord Matisse does get in a scout, see what's up. Going for a 1-1-1
Yeah.
build order here.
Viking and Stim, so I don't think this is going to be any sort of like aggressive Hellbat timing or anything like that. I think this is just going to be pretty standard. Everything looks pretty normal for now. One drone gets sniped, another forced to turn into a spore briefly. As we do see more and more drones coming out from Matisse, and more this general tech and economy from Psych, both sides are building themselves up. We will see the last 2 Hellions join up with the other 4 to get the 6 Hellion plus 1 Reaper hit squad, which we see so often. Queen's defending the natural, Ling's defending the 3rd, everything's spread out pretty well, but he's just going to run right by Psych, YOLOing it, and he's going to take out quite a few drones, but he's going to lose these Hellions. 12 drones actually killed, 14. All in all, this was a very good move by Psych, just playing the odds and striking first, striking hard.
Oh man, I think Matisse probably wanted to wall off with a bunch of evolution chambers to at least prevent that from happening, because that natural is pretty wide open here for those Hellions to run through.
Yeah. They had those Queens in a good position, probably thought the Hellions would not try and run through, but Psych just thought, you know what, I think I can go for it, and he was right. 2 Evo Chambers now on the way. This time Matisse has a very slight lead on the upgrades compared to his opponent, though he might not be able to afford them the second the Evo Chambers are done. So it looks like both sides will get their upgrades at about the same time. So far it's still a pretty even game. But with Psych's 3rd CC finishing, I'd say he's slightly ahead, considering all the drones he killed. But this game is again not unwinnable for Matisse. Last game, the odds were much worse against him than they are now, that's for sure.
And the one thing that Matisse does have going for him is that those creep spread has not been denied, so yeah, he's spreading those creep spread pretty well, like wildfire, which is gonna be pretty
he's
good
really
during the
starting to get that
engagement.
going. He's getting his 4th base, he's getting all the pieces he needs together. Both sides are getting into their ideal armies and getting ready to move into a much later game, which is what one would expect on a map like King's Cove, very defensive. We have a very fast infestation pit, so it looks like Matisse likes that fast hive style. I think that's what we're going to see once again. Don't think we're going to see swarm hosts or infestors. So I think
No.
that a fast hive is what Matisse wants to go for. And what for? Will he go for vipers again? That's the question. Just to augment his marine tank defense.
It might even be fast ultralisk. I mean, he's getting those melee and armor upgrades, so that'll definitely work in favor of his ultralisk if he decides to go for it.
Certainly could. We will just have to wait and see there. And we will have another double drop coming out from Psych. Overall, this game looking very similar from Psych as it did in the previous game. The difference here is in Matisse. He's got his 4th base just about up. He's got Banelings this time. He's got Hydras on the way. He's got the Hive on the way. He's in a much better position than he was previously. Psych dead even in supply, getting more and more workers up himself. I like the way this game's gone so far for both sides. We'll have to see who can handle the mid and late game better. Ooh, good snipes on those Banelings. Good focus fire, good kiting. Takes out a couple of them for free. Well, not quite for free. He took a glancing blow on some of those Marines, which was enough to pretty badly hurt them. But Medivacs will heal them up before they go and clear out some more creep. Spire and Hive on the way for Matisse. It looks like he wants to try and go straight into Broodlords, I'd say. Maybe with some Vipers along the way to help him out. A few Marines go down, but so do a few Lings and Banes. 2-2 on the way for both sides. What do you think about this fast hive?
Well, we shall see, because I think he's actually researching range attack. Is that it?
Yeah, for his Hydras, his grooved spines, yeah, that is extra range.
Okay, so maybe he might transition because he does have a Spire. I'm not sure if that's for Corruptors or for Brood Lords, but I think once he get the Hive, I mean, well, yeah, well, he just got the Hive, but looks like he will be committed to the those Speedlings, and actually it does. He goes for this the Greater Spire, so we might actually see those
Yeah.
Brood Lords with those
That is
Hydralisks.
very interesting, and we're going to have two different drops on two separate areas of the map, trying to abuse the multitasking of Zerg, clearing out some creep on both sides. Well, not only on one side, it looks like Psyche's not really that interested in clearing creep on the east side, or maybe just having difficulty controlling both locations at once. It's very difficult for both sides to do this properly.
Well, to be fair, I mean,
But Matty's doing well.
yeah, the creep part has spread so much that I'm not even sure if it's worth it at this point to waste all these scans. It might be better to just make a Raven or something.
Yeah, that might be an idea.
Oh,
But I don't know
this
if we're at that point yet. Yeah, loses a Mavic. That's not what you want. And it looks like Matisse is going to get up to these Broodlords without being seriously hurt or punished. So that makes it a pretty good idea. This is a very tank-heavy push, and it's going to head out now. But there's going to be Broodlords by the time it comes out. This is a great strategy for Matisse.
yeah,
Instead of fighting it head-on with Hydraling Bane and trying to flank and trying to hope things go well, he's just going to make Broodlords and out-muscle it with his tech.
yeah, and even the
He's-
upgrades too, because all the upgrades just finishing right now.
Yeah, it's going to be 2-2 for both sides. Matisse is not falling behind in upgrades, and he's going to have this trump card of technology, which is these Broodlords.
Oh man, he's gonna have so much time to prepare his engagement, as Psyche needs to wait to clear all the creep tumors before he can attack.
Although this leapfrog is quite fast and quite aggressive, but now, a bunch of Lings are attacking the natural and the main base as well. A tank will go down, but there's enough units left at home to defend this. But more importantly, the 5th base does go down. Psyche has bought himself some time. Matisse did buy himself some time, but not very much. Psyche proving to be still quite a fast pusher, which is very important in this matchup. Here come the Broodlords. And in the end, it doesn't matter how many tanks you have if these Broodlords are attacking. And oh my god, 4 tanks just go down. And the Broodlords are continuing to move forward. There's so many of them that even the Marines cannot stim on top of them. Although if the Broodlords get too far ahead of the army, that actually could prove disastrous. If the Broodlords are in a bad position and the army is not there to protect them, the Marines might be able to stim on top of them. 4 Vikings and 2 Thors at a time now being made to fend off these Broodlords. We'll have to see if it works. Psyche does land this 4th and starts to turn into a planetary fortress, but the Zerg is massing, the Zerg is swarming. And one of these Broodlords will get taken out pretty much immediately, but the Vikings cannot stay against these Hydras. They do take out a 2nd Broodlord and only lose 1 Viking in the process. Really well done. Good micro on those Vikings, but the Hydras now will come back. 3 Broodlords are down, but there's still a lot left. More Vikings and more Thors coming out. Psyche needs to hold on. He needs to survive. Does he have the tech out in time to defend against this? I just don't know. The Baneling stream forward. All of this bio is so very low. There are not many medivacs at all. Psyche loses some of these Thors as well, but is it enough to push through? These Broodlords are in such a strong position. Takes a 30 supply lead, and this bio again is so low in the medivacs. There's just not. Psyche stays alive for now, but will he survive the next wave? As they're coming forward to fight these Vikings, there aren't any more Thors left. And the Broodlords are just acting as the trump card. The Vikings, the Corruptors keeping the Vikings off, and the Broodlords taking care of everything on the ground. And here come the Ling Bane, and I think that's going to be it. I think that Matisse has done it. GG is called. And we will go into game number 3 of this match.
Nice.
Matisse proving Psyche's equal, and perhaps even his superior. At least this time. In a macro game. So we'll see if Psyche wants to do another macro game and adjust, or if he wants to go for another aggressive type of strategy. Cyber Forest for our final map, so it's definitely a map where aggressive moves from either side could work out well.
Yeah, again, this is the losers versus losers match, so whoever loses will be going home, and won't be able to have the hope of advancing to the round of 8. So
Both players on a razor's edge.
This will be the game to bring out their one of their go-to builds.
That's for sure. No second chances if you lose this game. This is their 4th chance. One of these players will advance to face Starkiller. The other will be eliminated from Alpha X Champions. We're going to find out who right now.
Oh wait, am I? Okay, they're making, alright.
Alright, Matthias, bring it on. CVZ, I can take you. Alright, here we go. Psyche is ready. And Matisse is hosting. So as soon as Matisse is ready, we will start this game. And we are starting. Game number 3 of this tournament, of this match. The penultimate match of the round of 16. In the upper left, loses game 1 to a 2x, but coming back in a macro game. Can he fend off Sykes' attacks? Can he take it down? Is Matisse.
And at the bottom right, we have the orange Terran player looking to advance to the last set match. It is Psyche.
Already a bit of an interesting deviation. We see that Psyche is going to be walling off at the natural instead of the main.
Ah, I like this.
So either he wants to take a fast expansion or he wants to make Matisse think he's taking a fast expansion. Considering that it's generally an Overlord scout that is the first scout that goes across the map for Zerg, I think this is not a bluff, because I don't think it would bluff very effectively as opposed to against a ground scout. So I think he really is just trying to defend against an early attack by defending his natural ramp. Which makes sense considering this is a pretty narrow ramp. It is one that you can wall off at fairly easily.
Yep.
Meantime, Matisse is opening pool first this time. Probably figuring, alright, well, if I won the macro game and lost to the 2x game, maybe I should play it a bit safe against the potential 2x, especially on a map like Cyber Forest. Let's just make sure I can't die to the same thing that crippled me in game number 1. And I think that's a smart way of approaching the game. And 6 lings will be made, so they're going to try and dodge the Reaper and try and deny this command center.
And they could probably go into the main since there's actually no wall in the ramp in the main.
Oh yeah, that's true. Although if Psyche walls off his
Oh yeah.
yeah, Psyche walls this off in time. If he builds like a supply depot here, then this actually won't do anything.
There's actually a little bit of an opening there.
Yeah, I think there is.
Because the Reaper just went through it. So these lings... Oh, okay, there's a supply depot.
He's gonna build a supply depot. So yeah, these lings won't actually get anything done. Although there isn't actually going to be any units here, so they might actually do something. But the supply depots, they're in really good positions. If you notice, there's not much surface area. Most of the surface area is on these big, very defensive buildings. And you can always send the Reaper home, which you will. So those 6 lings aren't going to achieve much. Although they could do some serious damage to the factory, but there's always the opportunity to pull some SCVs to repair it if needed, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Delay the reactor by just a little bit, because that'll have to lift off. And he doesn't really want to lift off while the lings are still wreaking havoc.
Oh.
But he will now, and the lings are going to try and get in, and actually will.
Wow.
The Reaper will clean that off eventually, but Matisse will get a full scout. He's got speedlings. He might be able to get some serious damage done. And he's going for a roach warrant. So he's going to get aggressive with this.
Oh yeah, he's keeping the Reaper busy at home.
Yeah, the Reaper's not going to be able to scout this. The Reaper dies. The longer Matisse can keep these units busy and delay, deny mining, delay, basically keep Psych both his APM and his mental attention focused on his own base, the longer he can delay this Roach Warren from being seen.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's not going to be seen for a long time, because these Hellions are going to have to get a few of them together before they move across the map, and then there'll be Roaches out, and yeah, Matisse doing very well. I think this attack could be quite strong.
Especially because he's going for Hellions. He's not going for Cyclones or tanks. So this is...
Although Psych actually is playing is very smart. It's like, okay, I know I can't scout you for a long time. I should build a bunker.
Yeah, he did scout with the Reaper no third base, so
Ah, there it is.
it might give him that kind of hint and clue.
Tries to break through, but does not succeed this time. But does get some lings, which is nice. Now, did he see the roaches? That is the question.
Yeah, I don't actually know. He might have barely, but or maybe not. Well, he'll see it now.
He didn't see it. Yeah, he's about to see it, and now he sees them. Ooh, almost gets himself body blocked there. That could have been very nasty if those Hellions had gotten trapped on the wrong side. A bunch of roaches and lings coming forward, and this is not a tight wall off either. Oh, he's trying to make it a tight wall off now, but it's not gonna. Oh yes, Civvy, is it gonna get there in time? It just does, but it's even so. This supply depot will go down so fast, and the lings are gonna flood on in.
Oh, but in the meantime, Hellions doing the counterattack.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of damage indeed, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. So many roaches and lings swarming in, I don't see any way that Psych holds this. I think Matisse has done it.
Yeah, all the
This
production...
tank comes out, but it's
oh,
trapped.
no. Yeah, just get sniped off.
And Matisse with a very well-timed attack. GG is called, and Matisse will advance to face Starkiller in the rematch.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you put all your production buildings at the front there, then once it's broken, then there's like almost no way to come back. But yeah, congrats to Matisse. He will advance to the last match in hopes to advance to the round of 8. But he will, of course, have a tall order to take down Starkiller. Unfortunately for Psych, he will be eliminated from the tournament. But thanks to him for showing up and playing the matches and picking up a good fight.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of our players for showing up. We've only had a couple of no-shows, and I believe only one person has done that without actually giving notice. Everyone else has given notice well in advance, which is very nice. I can't remember who it is, so I'm not calling anyone out, but it's been very good to see the attendance. We had a lot of attendance issues in Contenders. Champions has not been that way.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm very pleased to hear that.
And also like to go ahead while we get the next set of players to come in and do the vetoes. Let's do one last shout out to one of our sponsors. GameStop actually is one of our newest sponsors here. They have always given power to the players. Now they're bringing it specifically to the esports community. Because they recently have a new program which features coaching some of the players from the most prominent teams and players in the world. So if you want to, go ahead and visit GameStop's website. You can do so through our Matcherino quest, which will add additional 20 cents to the prize pool. And you can help out the players in this tournament as well as help out GameStop. And yeah, they have always given power to the players, so let's go ahead and support them for supporting the esports community. So thank you, GameStop.
Alright, Starkiller is away it looks like, so I shall have to message him on Discord.
Alright, let's go ahead and update the scoreboard. Starkiller versus Matisse. Oh, looks like we're up to 36 viewers here. Thank you all for tuning in. We are about to get started on our last match of the day. We're just getting all the players to be present, and then we'll do the map vetoes and get the game set up.
Alright, so who do we have in our groups so far? I know we have Art, Light, BioIce, and the winner of this match in Group A.
Yep.
And Group B,
we have in Group B,
Australia,
Australia.
Hino, Rodson, and Burning, is that right?
Yep.
There we go. Just trying to remember who won each group. So yeah, the round of 8 is going to be pretty great as well. And then we have finals week after that, which will be the round of 4 and the semi-final and the finals all in one day. The best of Alpha X compete for your entertainment in one gigantic finale.
Yep, and the event takes place every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's 10 p.m. European Time. So just make sure, to follow us on our Twitch. You get notified whenever we go live. And make sure to catch all the group stages, all the matches, again, every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yep, we'll be here for the next 3 weeks, as well as this week, of course, to bring you the conclusion to this wonderful.
And let's go over to the prize pool breakdown. Of course, this is a minimum of a $500 prize pool. So thank you to Salavant, Sushi, all our sponsors and also our coupon code contributors, all for contributing to the prize pool. This is our biggest prize pool in our team's history, so this is pretty dope. First place prize will go home with a minimum of $200. Second place, $100 minimum. Third to fourth place will go home with a minimum of $50, while fifth to eighth place will at least go home with a minimum of $25.
Yeah, we like to spread the love, spread some cash among our players. Make sure that as many of them as possible get opportunities to compete for money in this clan of ours. We're very glad to have gotten so many strong players lately. A year ago, we didn't have anywhere near the strength we have now.
Yeah, I don't think at this point we could have even come up with a Champions Cup because
contenders would have been enough.
Yeah.
There would have only been a handful of people in our whole clan who wouldn't have been eligible for contenders.
Yeah, we only had a few Dragon players, but at this point we have a bunch of them, so we were able to make a Champions Cup.
Now we have a whole horde. What's the term for what's the collective noun for a group of dragons?
I guess horde would be a good one. Good vocabulary.
Should make it something badass, like a blaze of dragons. A flock of dragons, maybe, because they fly. That's not very badass. It's like they're like birds.
Yeah.
A plume of dragons.
Ah, that's nice.
Like a plume of fire. I like that one. Alright. In the top left, a member of Alpha X's plume of dragons. It is the blue Zerg, it is Matisse.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have the red Zerg player, who is also one of our dragons. It is Starkiller.
I bet somewhere out there there's an official, unofficial definition for the plural form of dragons.
If anyone knows,
one of you nerds in the chat knows it.
Type in the chat.
I'm a dungeon master for D&D. I should know this. I don't think I've ever thrown more than one dragon at my players at a time.
Alright, looks like
Alright,
we
so
have...
Starkiller going for his traditional aggressive style. Hatch gas pool, yes, but he's doing it all off a very, very small amount of drones. Which probably means a speedling rush. That is generally what this build tends to indicate. And you get all the pieces for speedlings, and you get them extremely fast, so that you can overwhelm your opponent.
Yeah, we'll see if he goes for that flock of speedlings that he did in the other series, where he just went for gas and then just like produced a bunch of zerglings. Once speed kicks in, he just like flood across the map and overwhelm his opponent.
Yeah, well, he's got the hatcheries rallied towards the a more hidden part of his base, so I think that's exactly what he's going to do.
Oh yeah, he does it. He pulls all the drones off of gas, researches speed. So yeah, it looks like that's gonna be the build that he's gonna go for.
Yeah, and he's making a ton of links, and he's pulling a few drones to send them towards the natural to make it look like he's got more drones than he does. And he's going to send these first 6 lings out away from the overlords. He's very good at disguising this, Starkiller is. He's even got these drones out there. He makes it look all normal, and then pow! In comes a million speedlings. Matisse is just droning up without a care in the world. He's even taking a third base. He's like, okay, yep, this is a regular game. But he's wrong.
Yeah, remember in the first series against Matisse, he did this. This is pretty much the deja vu, the first game, where he did the same build and Matisse went for that third base as well. This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt really
You're
bad.
right. It is exactly the same, except in this case, Matisse doesn't even have a Baneling nest on the way, so it's even worse. He's now gonna reveal the links. Oh, but he's actually sending the Overlord away. But now, oh, these lings from Matisse are actually gonna get caught out in the middle of the map. They're slow lings. They cannot fight the speedlings. And now, oh, this could not go worse for Matisse.
Oh, he doesn't even get the wall off. Oh
goodness.
no.
This is just going to be a very, very quick game. Starkiller appears to just have Matisse's number, and the GG is just called immediately. 3 minutes 24 seconds. Starkiller breaks his record.
He's like, I don't want to go to the round of 8 like right now.
I want to go to the round of 8, but I also really need to pee. Please finish this fast. Starkiller, man, I didn't know you had some place to be. Alright, we're 2.5 hours in, and we might just be on our last game of the night.
Yeah, potentially. We'll see if Matisse can win a game here, this next game.
That was on King's Cove. That's like the one map you'd think you wouldn't do something like that on.
Yeah, now we're heading to Cyber Forest, which is the map that you would expect it to be to happen on. So we'll see.
So it's worth noting that, you know, the bigger the map is, the longer it actually takes for Overlord scouts to get in the right positions.
Ah, that's true.
So it's kind of a balancing act there. And speedlings are, you know, very fast. So they can get across the map pretty quickly, so the defender's advantage, the rush distance, is not as important as it would be with slower units like, say, roaches.
Ah.
You wouldn't see many roach pushes on a map like King's Cove. Because they're much slower.
So we have a bunch of suggestions in the Twitch chat. Reality is saying you could call it a flight of dragons. And then Zeno says you can call it a thunder of dragons or a pride of dragons.
Those are all good. I like all of those. A Pride of Dragon is pretty cool. Alright, in the upper left. 1 game down. Looking for vengeance. He's getting a very, very fast gas. I think he wants to give Starkiller a taste of his own medicine. It is Matisse.
And spawning at the bottom right, it is the red Zerg player looking to advance to the round of 8. Can he do it? It is Starkiller.
Matisse has had it up to here. He's like, alright, screw you, man. You want to get aggressive? I'm going to show you what aggressive is. But, I think Starkiller is, you know, well equipped for a game like this. He's making his own pool only slightly slower than Matisse is. Now, we've been over this many times in our cast, but for those of you who are only recently joining us, those of you who might not play as much as EVZ, 12 pool is an aggressive but macro opener. You can macro out of it. Your goal is to take out the hatchery, or at least force so much delayed mining time that you come out ahead anyway. 13-12 is not that. You get speed, you get a Baneling nest, and you go. You do not take a natural at all unless you do some serious damage. You might not even make a queen. This is as all in as you can get in CBZ. Except, I guess, a drone rush with spine crawlers. Short of pulling the drones and sending them across the map, you don't get any more all-in than this.
And there goes the Baneling Nest from Matisse. He's going all in here.
And he's just sending these lings across the map. He does not care that Starkiller knows. Starkiller's in a good position to defend this, though. He's got a fast pool. He's already got a bunch of links. He's already got a queen on the way. So, this could be a lot worse for him than it is. But again, the Baneling Nest is going to come up, and that's going to be kind of the key. When Speedling and Banelings are out against Slowlings, Queens, and a few drones, that's going to be the hardest part of the defense.
Yeah, I think Starkiller will definitely need to wall off completely, or at least get a spine crawler, a quick spine crawler to defend against this.
And Matisse is not going completely all in with this. He is getting a hatchery of his own, but the hatchery is already finished for Starkiller, so that means Matisse needs to get some serious damage done if he wants to stay in this game.
Oh,
And with speed done, he can. Just saves that link. Here come the Banelings. This is going to be a big, big moment. And oh man, actually, the Banelings don't even do anything because all of the lings have been sniped immediately. The Baneling Nest is coming up for Starkiller. A spine is on the way for Starkiller as well, but these Banelings could actually snipe this spine down if they were so inclined. Transfuse goes up on the hatchery, buying more time. The Banelings now ready. Decent connections come down. Oh, the Queen is not quite in position and will get sniped. This low ground is in so much danger. Banelings now coming down for Starkiller, but I feel like it might be too late. The Spine Crawler does start to do its thing, forcing Matisse back, but I think this hatchery is going to go down.
Yeah, definitely.
And, yep, he's getting as much damage. Oh, here come the Banelings, actually. Oh, no way. He's not going to save this, is he?
Oh.
Surely not. No, he doesn't. The Banelings sneak in and get it, and Matisse flees. He's done his job. He's happy. It's 14 workers to 14. Higher army supply for Matisse, and 2 bases to 1. Suddenly, Matisse in a dominating position.
Yeah, he's fighting really hard to stay alive here.
You know what they say, if you can't beat him, join him.
Yep.
And that is exactly what Starkiller has done. What Matisse has done is like, alright, if I can't beat your aggression, I'll respond in kind. And we have a Fast and Furious series on our hands. We'll see if Matisse can keep this lead, but I don't really see a way that Starkiller comes back into this game now. He's only just now getting speed.
Yeah, that's true. And Matisse is getting...
Matisse.
Yeah, he's going for a fast lair, so he's attacking hard, because he knows that Starkiller can't really counterattack at this point.
Yeah, I think he's just going to go for Mutalisks and then just deny a third ever going up.
Yeah, sounds like a great plan here.
Even keeps his Ling alive because speed versus no speed is a very sad day for Slowlings.
Yeah.
This Spine Crawler is actually just like losing a bunch of health just because it has no creep, but now it's safe. Gets that life rejuvenating creep under it. More drones come out from both sides, but Matisse has had that extra base for so much longer. A counter-attack will be on the way for Starkiller. He does have a couple lings and a queen though, so he'll probably be okay. And yeah, I think we are going to see the Spire coming out. We do see 2 gas already done, a 3rd gas finishing, and yep, here comes the Spire. Oh, this queen actually does go down though. Good catch.
Oh, he does.
They
get
will
the
get a full scout, and they will scout the Spire. That is extremely important. Now, will Matisse cancel it? I don't think he will. I think the Spire is just a good tactical move here. And Starkiller going for a lair as well. Interesting. Which will be scouted immediately. Both these sides very good with their scouting. Both players on. It is still 2 bases to 2. So late in this game. Neither side going for that fast bird, which is so common in modern ZVZ.
Yeah, I think Starkiller might actually go for a lair and then go for a Nidus Roach with queens to attack his opponent Matisse before the Mutas can do
that would be a good idea,
damage.
but I don't see enough gas to make that really happen. I think you need 2 gas for that.
Yeah, still not adding gas. Well, I guess
And
he's
he
still not
doesn't have a roach
saturated.
horn either. No, but still. We'll have to see what he does. He's like pretty oversaturated on minerals compared to. But yeah, you're right. It will be the Nidus worm.
I guess without roaches.
Will we see a roach warren?
I don't think so. I think he's just gonna go Queens,
Yeah,
Link,
Mass
Baneling.
Link Queen. Yeah, I guess you're right. And Matisse even getting +1 air weapons. He really wants to commit hard to these Mutalisks. We'll have to see if they can fend off the Nidus worm. There are a couple of Overlords around, but they're not right there. And if the Overlords are spotted, then the Mutalisks will just clean them out. And the Mutalisks already clear out the first one. So he's not going to be able to get a Nidus like, directly into the main or anything like that. But he's getting one right near the third now. So it will be a bit of a slow push. And here come... Oh, has he seen it?
Nah.
Or does he just know...
Oh, wait.
Yeah, he cancels it, so he must have seen something.
Yeah.
Baneling's being morphed. Roach Warren on the way. Queens are done. And he's building a ton of spine crawlers. So he will be okay against this. I like how spore crawlers are being built against these Mutalisks. That is really clever. He's just going to try and slow push through. Or maybe just take a third himself. The Mutalisks try and fight, but to no avail. There's too many Queens and too many Transfuses. And when the spores are done, there's no way the Mutalisks will ever be able to bust into this position. So that's why he's going for roaches, to eventually break through this. And he's going to go for a counterattack as well. I like this. The Marines, the Zerglings are not needed for this defense with all of these spines here. Oh, and the spores actually can detect creep.
Yep.
That's not an interaction I've ever seen before.
Oh, but these Lings going into the Starkiller's main base, and there's actually nothing here.
Yeah, oh man, that's gonna kill so many workers already. There's absolutely nothing that Starkiller has that he can do. He has to retreat through his Nidus. But already he's down so many workers, good connections. But now, all of a sudden, Matisse is in a dominating position. He's starting to send out these roaches to attack. And the Queens don't really do much to roaches. Actually, they are starting to kill them. Maybe he needs to wait for a few more roaches, does Matisse. He's just coming in with these Mutalisks to try and get some surgical strikes down. And now I think he has enough roaches to take these out. There's just not enough transfuses. But the Lings do come back. But look at just look at the supplies, look at the armies. It looks like Matisse pretty much has this in hand. I don't see what Starkiller can do from here. He's had a good idea with this Nidus, but I just don't see it panning out.
Yeah, I don't see any answers for these roaches. Oh, loses these roaches.
Oh yeah, now there's enough roaches to one-shot the Queens now. The transfuses don't matter. And with transfuses out of the picture, these Queens are being sniped one by one. And I think this is nearly the end. The Banelings come in to attack the Lings. There's nothing left to protect the Queens. The spores will go down as well, and that will be it. Matisse has double the supply of Starkiller. Starkiller's final gambit has failed. And after coming so close, both against Starkiller and against Estrella, I just don't think it's going to work. Starkiller is building a Lurker Den as his final attempt. But I just don't see how it's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, with 25 workers, he only could possibly only make a few lurkers here.
Yeah, he's going to try and catch his opponent off guard with this. And to his credit, he has hidden it well. Starkiller, Matisse does not know, and you can always make another Nidus one. Starkiller actually has some of his own creep near Matisse's creep. So he has vision of the area. So he could throw down a Nidus one. Mutalisks continuing to do their thing. Spotting the Hydralisk, but not the Lurkers. I almost think it'd be a better idea to put the Hydras in the Nidus worm, unload them somewhere, and then turn them into Lurkers so that they're not spotted. But here comes the Roach Muta army.
Oh, wow.
And they might get fed off now because the Lurkers will be undetectable. But even so, I see this being nothing but a temporary reprieve. And here come the Lurkers, and Starkiller and Matisse sees it and is like, alright, I'll just back off and make an Overseer. Actually, no, he's going for his own Lurker Den.
Why not?
That is interesting. You can't break this position though as Matisse, but you don't have to. It's 3 bases to 2. And Starkiller is just kept in his base. He's gonna throw down a Night Swarm and try and attack the 3rd with his lure. One Overseer is on the way. Sending the spines partially to the main, partially to the 3rd to block these Nidus players. But that's not where the Niduses are. So it's going to be Queens and Lurkers and some Valence as the final push for Starkiller.
Oh man, this
Another Nidus Swarm coming up.
doesn't really look like a big army here. It looks kind of measly.
It is not a big army. It's a strong army, very highly technical, but I think the numbers are just too far on Matisse's side. He's also sending his Mutalisks across the map to try and do damage at the same time. Matisse even has his own Lurkers, so that's... Starkiller's not going to be able to break him with Lurkers of his own. Lurkers are not very good at advancing on Lurkers.
Oh, actually these Mutas gonna go ahead and target this Nidus, so no more reinforcement until he makes another Nidus.
No, there's 2 Niduses.
Oh, there is? Oh, okay.
There's another one next to
Alright,
the Queens. Oh, but he loses his Overseer. So now he can't push in against the Lurkers of Matisse.
And now Matisse has bought enough bought enough time to make his own Lurkers, and now I don't see Starkiller breaking this.
Exactly. Oh, and the Lurker. Oh, look at that positioning. That's beautiful. Mutalisks taking out Hydralisks. Starkiller's push is just dead in the water. The Lurkers and Spines killing it, and Matisse is done. He's just moving forward. He's just like, okay, screw this. GG is called for Starkiller, and Matisse will advance along with Australia to the round of 8.
Oh wait, isn't that a 1-1 tie? Or
Wait, isn't?
yeah,
Oh yeah, you're right.
Starkiller won the
Cyberforce
first
was
game.
second.
Yeah, so we're heading into our ace match where we get to get our infamous Salivant player introduction.
You're right, it's not over yet.
We have one more last one.
On year 0, the end of the world, the end of the round of 16. Very suitable, indeed.
For all the fame and glory here.
Yeah, this is like one of the longest games we've seen all day, so I kind of thought it was 2.
Understandable.
But you're right, it is 1 game to 1.
And it is going to be on year 0, in which we have not played this whole day.
Yeah, you're right, we haven't. Gets vetoed a lot.
So we're ending the last game here with a bang.
We sure are. Let's hope we get another game like that, although one that's a bit more even throughout. I want to see a knockdown brawl on this map.
Oh yeah.
We've seen some great maps. We've seen some great matches. Some great games on this map. StarCraft 2 as a whole. That infamous Sue versus Cyril game. One of the best probably the best ZVZ of all time was played on Year 0.
Yeah, I remember
Don't know
that.
if you saw that, the 30-minute game with Roach Ravager against like the Lurkers and Vipers and such, which came down to the very last handful of units.
Yeah, I saw that. It was amazing.
It was. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. But now we have another game, another 2 epic players to battle for supremacy on year 0 in the upper left. Narrowly losing out on his chance against Australia. He does not want it to happen again. It is Starkiller. And in the upper right, clawing his way back in. He was beaten and bloodied in the first series, but now he's coming back with a vengeance. Can he get revenge? It is Matisse! And he wants his vengeance. He's going for the same build again. The 13-12.
Ah.
He has had enough of Starkiller's shenanigans. And it worked for him before. He gained control of that game and never let it go. And now he's going to try and do it one more time as these two overlords meet. In the middle of the... Starkiller versus Matisse, red versus blue with Amon. Watching. I believe Amon represents art from Group A.
Oh, kiss of death.
The ghost overlords pass by each other. They're like samurai overlords. One of them is about to fall and explode. I guess they were too evenly matched.
Oh,
So if you were to cover up these players' names, I would say that Matisse was Starkiller and Starkiller was Matisse, as both players have switched their roles up a little bit this time around.
yeah. And you know what?
Starkiller playing the defense and Matisse playing the offense.
The same build he did last game, too.
Yeah, exactly. He's just like, you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Starkiller's actually sending wings across the map as well, which is kind of the worst thing you can do against this. Although speed is not yet done, and I guess this will scout this out. So I guess, yeah, sending these wings out wasn't such a bad idea. The Roach Warren comes out from Starkiller. He's going to try and defend against this with roaches.
Interesting.
Very interesting. It would lead to one hell of a counterattack potential as well. Oh, but Matisse is just going to retreat from this until he
but
has speed.
Speed is about to be done. Okay, Starkiller needs to retreat right now. Right now.
Oh yeah. The Banelings are on the way, and here comes... He's going to have to turn and fight, and then do a fighting retreat. Roaches are done. Roach Warren's done. 3 roaches are on the way. I like this defensive idea from Starkiller. Both sides so low on economy, so low on drone counts. Starkiller investing everything he has into this defense. He cannot let this hatchery fall under any circumstances. Transfuse goes down. There aren't enough lings to really take the Baneling shots, but here come the roaches now. He keeps the hatchery alive.
But for how long? That's the question.
And suddenly Starkiller has the tech advantage, so I quite like what he's done.
And
he's got a spine, he's safe.
He can wall up with the roaches at the ramp too.
Yeah. I like this move a lot. Starkiller skipped straight past the Ling Bane phase of the game. Just gotten enough roaches to defend himself.
But again, this is not a super all-in, as Matisse does have a second base, but what does he have against these roaches? These roaches actually making their way across the map here.
Oh yeah, the thing is that Starkiller invested so much into this game that it's still a game that either player could win, but Starkiller definitely has the edge because of these roaches, and yeah, he's just sending them across the map. I like this. There's just not enough production to produce enough Ling Bane to really fend this up. I mean, I guess given enough lings and such, I think Matisse would be able to hold this. It's only a few roaches, but also Starkiller is now taking a big drone lead. Well, a nice drone lead. Yeah, I really like how he's played this overall. And here comes the third base from Matisse. Starkiller's going for a lair and an Evo chamber, so he's going to go very heavily into these roaches. He's going to get his roach speed, he's going to get +1. That's what I think is going to happen anyway. And he's going to just go into the mid game with an attempted advantage. And I guess he will have an advantage because, you know, 3-base Ling Bane versus 2-base Roach, that's kind of common. But usually you don't see such a big tech lead for the Roach player.
Yeah, I think his Overlord, because he's Overlord scouted the third base on Matisse, I think he wants to go ahead and maybe even do a nice play and put some big aggression onto Matisse to punch him for going for such a fast third base.
He could, but he could also just get Roach speed and go for like a +1 time, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's not a super long map, I don't think.
And he has decided that's what he's going to go. Like this, I love this Roach wall at the natural. As you pointed out earlier, that he could do that.
So pretty much Matisse is in the dark. He doesn't have any Overlord scouting, no lings that can... Well, actually now that he moved his roaches, he can. But he's still in the dark.
He knows it's roaches, but that's about all he knows. And now Matisse is going to start getting his own roaches. as is typical for this type of game, though not really typical the way we got here, Ling Bane versus Roach, Matisse has more bases, about the same amount of drones, giving him a slight economic advantage, but technology-wise he's behind. His +1 is behind, and his speed is way behind. So Starkiller's Roaches will be better for quite some time, and Matisse will have to defend, play it safe. And Starkiller is not making more drones. He's just making a ton of Roaches, and he's definitely going for this +1 speed timing attack off just about 40 drones.
Yeah, now.
And I don't think Matisse knows about this. He's droned up, but he's droned up to about the right amount. I like that. He's only got a few more drones than Starkiller. That's what you want. You want just a few more workers than your opponent. If he'd made like 60 drones, he would just be overrun and killed. That still could happen, but overall, I like Matisse's position here. I think he's doing alright.
Oh,
Starkiller does have a supply lead, so it's going to be a tough defense no matter what. Even if he's made the perfect tactical decisions. Especially because, you know, no speed. So, he could just back away. But, really? That's the question. Remember, Starkiller can back away from any fight he wants. Matisse cannot back away from this fight. And Starkiller chooses to just move in. And does he just have two... I think the numbers are just too far in his favor. Starkiller's defense was great. He knew what to do in the second time that he faced this. And Matisse just ran out of tricks. All of Matisse's Roaches are down. GG, well played is called. And Starkiller will advance.
Congrats, Starkiller. He will take that last place in the round of 8 and guarantee himself at least a minimum of $25. GG's.
They sure do. Congratulations, Australian Starkiller. You guarantee yourself $25 USD as well as a spot in the round of 8. Starkiller, you'll play in Group A next week. Bit of a consolation prize, considering his opponents are Art, Light, and Bio Ice, but he's made it.
Yep, at least he made it.
And Australia will face Hino, Rodson, and Burning in Group. We'll have Group A next week, Group B the week after, and Finals Day the week after that.
Yeah, I think when we started today's Group D, I think we kind of predicted Australia and Starkiller were the favorites to move on, and indeed they did.
Yeah, but it was definitely hard fought. We had a lot of 2-1s. Could have gone either way.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially that last game too, or the last set. It was tied 1-1, and anything could have happened in that third game.
Oh yeah, Starkiller is showing a really great defense that you don't really see very often. Very decisive. I really liked it.
Alright, and that pretty much wraps Group D, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the games as much as we did. Again, Group A of the round of 8 will happen next Saturday, May 4th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, so make sure to tune in. Alright, Sal, do you have any last words for our audience before we wrap this whole thing up?
I think you pretty much said it all, Snoopy. Do tune in next week. Let me see if we have any other events going on today. Alpha X always has a lot of stuff going on. So if you haven't had your fill of StarCraft yet, let's see if we can find something else. Let's see. Tomorrow, we do have our MVP Cup, which is essentially the GSL soup to this tournament's GSL. The top players of Alpha X will be there for a $200 tournament, which will be a one-day tournament. It starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So do tune in for that. You'll get to see your favorite players from this group and beyond for a grand prize in the Weekender tournament.
Alright, yep, make sure to tune in for that. Alrighty, I think that pretty much does it. Once again, congrats to Australia and Starkiller for advancing and winning their group. We'll see you guys next time. This is your friendly neighborhood casting duo signing out.
Nuclear missile ready.